not just America's card room. We're the world's card room. A place where everyone comes together to play the game we all love. We are all unique, all competitive, and all striving to be the best. But at the end of the day, through thick and thin, we are all in together.
We know we keep saying this, but the biggest Venom of all time is almost here. Yep, the $8 million Venom tourney gets underway on Friday, January 22nd with the massive $8 million guaranteed prize pool, our biggest ever. Following our recent gigantic Venom PKO and 3 Hold'em Venoms that came before it, the $8 million Venom is your chance to kick off the year with millionaire status. That's right, first place gets at least $1 million, guaranteed. Want in? Then buy your $2,650 seat right now for this multi-day tourney featuring 4 day one flights. Or get in through steps, skips, Venom Blitz steps, megas, and our epic Venom Fever. There's nothing like the Venom, and that's especially true in 2021 with 4 editions set to hit the schedule. Are you in? There's no better time to rope off your seat than right now. Join us, winningpokernetwork.com.
From the Lodge Poker Club in beautiful Round Rock, Texas, welcome to Poker Night at the Lodge. My name is Rick Epstein, along with my partner each and every week, Mike the Skull Reisman. We've got a doozy. Mikey, what you got going on tonight?
Ricky boy, 5-10 no limit hold'em tonight. We got 2 tables running at the Lodge. Unfortunately, we can only bring 1 to you right now, and it is their featured game. The meetup game was SETI and E. We're about to get cards in the air flying here shortly, and we have a star-studded lineup tonight here in Round Rock.
Let's go around the table. Who's in seat 1, Mikey?
Seat 1, it looks like E. You've known him from some previous streams. He's been hopping around Texas. He's been here at the Lodge before on one of our previous 5-5 games. Seat 2 looks like
Apache.
Yeah, it's Apache. Apache's been here before as well, and he's no stranger to the action. Seat 3 would be the Poker Traveler. Seat 4 is J-Win. Seat 5 is a new player to the stream. His name is Tibor, and he is an airlines pilot, so he's goes in and out of town quite frequently, but he's here with us tonight, and I reached out to him for the big one, and he said, "You got to get me a seat." I said, "Yes, sir." New players always get that preference. Seat 6, Sai, who's been probably our most regular and most frequent player, and he's no stranger for big action. He bought in for the one of the highest stacks tonight. He bought in for 10K large. So
10K.
10K, easy. No breezy, no problem. Tony, Big Tony, seat 7. Joe in seat 8. And seat 9, where we had a last-minute cancellation for the stream game, we had to do an old-fashioned rock, paper, scissors to see who got in for seat 9. I witnessed it. I officiated the rock, paper, scissors. And Bones was the victorious participant, and Westlake is now first alternate on our second 5-10 table going on at the Lodge.
All right, we go 4 to the flop. Frank is in the box. We got pocket 7, Sai. Ace 4 suited. Here comes the flop, 6, 5, 10 rainbow. And it looks like the Tibor is in the lead with his top pair. And folks, we've got some big stacks tonight. The red chips are $5, green chips are $25, black chips are $100, and the purple ones are $500. And we see a few yellow ones over there at seat 3. You see those yellow chips? Those are $1,000 chips. We've got I believe from 4,000 on up to 10,000 is our largest chip stack right now.
Yeah, a couple 4Ks, couple 5Ks, couple 8Ks, and I believe there were 2 10Ks. So you do the math. I'm not your math teacher. You can calculate that at home. But we got a lot of money on the table tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm pumped up, Ricky. I'm pumped up.
Absolutely. So we'll go heads up to the river, and Tybor's going to win the first pot as long as he stays in this. Tybor. You say Tybor.
He says Tybor, so we got to go. But he's got some fans watching here at home, so we got to make them happy as well.
Absolutely. And
first pot, 700. So here we go. Off to the races early. Buckle up. Get your favorite beverage. I like myself a little bit of a chocolate chip cookie and a brownie here on the side, so maybe bring that to the table as well, because we're going to have 3. Maybe a little bit longer since we got off to a late start tonight. We might even go into overtime, extra time. So we're going to be here.
We did that the other night. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are bringing it to you strong tonight. This is our biggest buy-in
stream game
so far, and we anticipate this won't be our last of this size, as we've got. It's so popular, Mike, that we've got a whole second table, kind of the JV, if you will, waiting to get the varsity call-up.
It's a 5-10 game, so we got 5-10 games going on, 1-3 games, plenty of 1-2 tables.
Tournament going on tonight.
Big O game, so the Lodge is definitely the place to be here on Saturday night evening before the Super Bowl. We need everybody watching right now. There's 65 people in the chat early just when we got off the jump. You all need to hit that like button. Smash the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. The more likes we get, the more people we can branch out to early on, and this is definitely going to be a huge night. So spread the word, copy the link, bring a friend. We need to get the word out for this game going on right now.
Poker Traveler raises it up to 100. Big Tony will call, as does, looks like Cy will also call. So we'll go 3 of the flop. Queen 4-3. All clubs. And Big Tony puts a buck and a squirt out there. 125 is the bet.
Tony top pair, nobody with a club in their holding here. The Traveler here with middle pair, a pair of 4s. And he's going to look Tony up, but looks like for the... No, he's reaching for the raising chip. So the bright lights are on right now, and Seti's here to play. And he's going to put the pressure on Tony early on here. I played with Seti this afternoon, the Poker Traveler, and he was kind of moving at a slower pace. But once the cameras turn on
once the lights
go on, he's here dodging and weaving here, making moves on the flop. All club flop here and putting Tony to the test with top pair. And Tony and the Traveler have no experience together, and Tony's going to give him a little respect for the feeling out process here until he wants to take the gloves off and really dance.
Wow. And as always, we got 66 in the live chat. When we get to 100, boy, do I have a doozy of a joke for you tonight. I've got so many calls from all around the country on last Wednesday night's joke.
Last
they
Wednesday,
loved
definitely the best joke so far.
Boy, you're going to like this one. But we're going to wait till we get to 100. Looks like we got a strudel going on.
We might need to wait till at least a buck. We need to raise the bar a little bit on the big night.
We'll see.
We need to raise the bar.
Looks like we got a straddle from E in seat 1. Apache will fold over to Poker Traveler.
We're too big for 100 now. You know what I'm saying? We're getting too many compliments. Everybody's loving the stream. So we need to raise the bar a little bit. Get a couple more viewers. If they don't already know, they need to get familiar with Slick Rick and the Skull here live from the Lodge. Saturday night, our big game. We're streaming every Wednesday and Saturday. So Wednesday, we usually have a little bit of a smaller stakes games, a 1-3 match to stack or a 1-3 $500 cap dollar buy-in. Also coming up at the end of February, we're going to having our 200K.
Oh, yes.
So that's going to be a monster. We're going to smash that guarantee, probably get close to 300K. We're going to be streaming that final table along with the Art of Poker. That's very popular here in the community.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing lots of stuff during that big tournament at the end of this month. It may not be all live streams. We're definitely streaming the final table, but we may do some fun stuff during day 1A, B, and C that you may like. So stick around and stay tuned as we are just really getting the swing of these live streams and our shows as we're a couple months into it. And, boy, the subscribers are going up. Looks like E, we're going to raise it up to 125 over to Apache with 10-7 suited.
Still got a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth with E here. I played with E this afternoon. I had pocket aces. I raised it up, large 3-bet pre-flop. He called me on. He had position on me on the button. I only spiked top pair. I hit my set of aces on a rainbow flop, and I lost a hand. Runner flush. Got stacked for 2K.
This is how it works, Mikey. Two clubs on the board.
That's not how it's supposed to work, Rick. That's not how it's supposed to happen.
Here's a very similar situation. Poker Traveler now with the club draw. Wow.
I say, E, I got you crushed, buddy, right now. I got the nuts right now. So you want to run it twice? He's like, no, let's just run it once. I'll probably suck out on you. Verbatim. And then, boom, runner, flush with a 10 high.
Mikey.
So, pardon me if I'm a little sour. I'll get over it eventually. It's okay. We still had a decent session. But what a lineup tonight here with E, Poker Traveler. We still got, Cy, Big Tony, Jay-Wen, who've been here on a regular basis, and Bones coming in hot. Haven't seen Bones a lot since the COVID pandemic has started. He used to play here on a regular basis, but now he's back in the mix. The games are too big, and he can't resist it. He has to show up here and play in this one.
Well, when you put a game like this together, Mikey, people come out of the woodwork wanting to play. Looks like we're going to have a raise. Bones is going to raise to 65 over to Apache will fold in the blind. And here comes Poker Traveler along with the 7-9 offsuit. Flop comes 9-8 Jack. Both Bones with an open-ender.
Speaking of which, Frank was the dealer who did me dirty today, so he's definitely in the penalty box for me. I didn't even want him to deal this game because I was so steamed up. But we'll give him a pass.
Here's a bet from Poker Traveler.
Best hand here, pair of 9s.
Open-ender for Bones.
Getting a decent price to continue in position, and he's actually going to raise it up to 325. So forget about calling and chasing. Let's put the heat on right now. Try and represent an 8, possibly a flop straight. Queen 10 definitely in play. Also heart. So a lot of things that Poker Traveler has to be thinking about right now when he's making a decision to either call or fold, and he's going to let it go, it looks like. There it goes.
Now, who here has experience with one another, Mike? We know E and Poker Traveler have played together.
Yeah, E and Poker Traveler have played a lot together. They've been traveling around town. Jay-Wen has some experience with Poker Traveler and E, as does Bones. Bones has played with them on a pretty consistent basis as well. Then when you kind of look at the left side of the table right now, the seeds 6, 7, and 8, they have a lot of experience with each other, as long as with the Apache in seat 2. So it's kind of a mix. Half the table has experience with each other, the other half has the experience with the other half, and now we're all brought together here under the bright lights, table 11, the night before the Super Bowl, live in Round Rock at the Lodge.
Technically, we have to call it the big game. You used that term, and then people get upset about trademarks. Let's just call it the big football game tomorrow.
Here we go.
There's an $80 raise.
We're hoping these guys play all night, barely even get any sleep, and then go fresh right into the big one tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We got 3 hours to talk some football and who you like tomorrow, and
Yeah, we got time.
We've got a lot of time. Here comes the flop. We'll go 3 ways to it. 8, 8, 9.
2 hearts.
2 hearts. Joe with a heart. Nobody with an 8 or a 9. Another 7 of spades. So now E with a nut flush draw. And Poker Traveler is going to make it 110. Joe will fold his queen jack. And of course, E is going to come along as he's got the flush draw. Oh, and he hits the flush. Nut flush, but there's a board pair out there, so you got to worry about that.
Runner, just like earlier today. He does it again, but the Traveler doesn't really have much of a holding here, so I don't really see this pot going really anywhere, as the Traveler has checked to E on the button. E's going to fire out here with the nut flush draw, and the Poker Traveler's going to have to let this one go.
3 1/4. Yeah, nothing there. Poker Traveler's going to lay it down, and E is going to take the pot. Button will move, Yeah, the Lodge is on fire right now tonight with all the games we've got. We've got Big O in the back. We've got 2 5-10 games. We've got a 1-3 game. We've got 4 1-2 games. And we got a tournament going, a bounty tournament. Are you kidding me? This place is crazy right now.
Yeah, really the only open table is the one you see right here behind the big one here, but everything else is locked and loaded. Everyone's still wearing their masks, trying to keep the distance as best as possible here. The Lodge has implemented a no eating policy, so you won't be seeing people eating at the table anymore, trying to keep things as safe as possible without eliminating the fun and excitement here. So we're doing the best we can, and we're going to power on here as Tibor under the gun, Big Slick suited.
He'll raise it up over to E, and then Apache on the button. Looks down, will fold. Here comes Poker Traveler with another ace deuce in his hand. Almost want to say those are the exact same cards. Queen 9 suited. Here comes the flop. 9-7 deuce. 2 clubs for Tibor, a 9 for J-Win, and a deuce for Poker Traveler. Something for everyone.
Tibor checks around. He's going to c-bet this one. Snap call by the Traveler. Bottom pair sounds good. Let's run out for a suck out. Sounds good to me. J-Win says, I got top pair. I'm not going nowhere. 55 bucks, no problem.
Here comes the 5 of diamonds. And now J-Win is in the lead with his top pair and decent kicker. Everybody has a decent chance. Tibor is going to check it. A 3 of hearts on the river, and J-Win's going to win as long as he stays in this hand.
Yeah, he will be staying in this hand. He's actually going to lead out on this river here. It looks like for 80 bucks. Splash the pot a little bit, but we'll let him slide. Tibor, disgusted, taking his time. Tibor, very methodical, takes his time pretty much on every street, but
wow,
makes the call. Believes in his ace high.
He shows how good he was.
Shows it. You see Poker Travel there, a little surprised, making the call, hero call with ace high. So pretty interesting here. Tibor showing that ace high, the miss, saying I'm not going to be bluffed tonight. I'm going to be calling light here. So maybe potentially sending a message to the rest of the table there with that hero call ace high.
Huge tournament, February 25th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. The biggest in Central Texas, $200,000 guarantee, 3-day ones. Come on to the Lodge. Hey, if you're coming from out of town, we've got a special arrangement with the Marriott Round Rock. Check our website, thelodgepokerclub.com, and we'll get you set up. That nice hotel is literally 1.5 miles from the club, and $500 buy-in, $75 club access fee, and you are in the tournament. We expect the first place to be somewhere north of $50,000, maybe even $60,000. It will be a huge tournament, 3-day one, so plan on it. February 25th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. I know, Mikey, you've already got your seat.
Yeah, I already won a seat for that one, so I got a freebie entry into that. I'm going to try and run that one up. My plan is to play pretty aggressive early on, try to run up a big stack. If not, I got an extra bullet or 2. So hopefully I'll be at that final table for all our fans to see on the stream. Kind of a little bit bummed out that I didn't get a seat on this one. I could have gotten a seat here. I didn't want to leave you stranded on our biggest night so far, Ricky, but
well,
it's okay. There'll be more games.
You can we'll always find somebody. They won't be as good as you, Mikey the Skull, but we'll find somebody to replace you. Don't worry. King Jack 4 and Apache and Joe both hit their king. Tibor with his pocket queens go shriveling to nothing.
Yeah, Tibor with another premium, but an unfortunate flop for him here with king high and 2 spades. Joe with the ace of spades in his hand and top pair, definitely good enough for a bet. And he fires out what looks to be, was that 165 or is that 190? I'm not 100% sure, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Action back on the Apache here with also top pair.
Joe's got to love this. Top pair, top kicker.
The Apache carving out some calling chips, and that's what he does, makes the call.
Getting the massage. You can get a massage while you play poker. How good is life?
Stevie B in the chat. What's up, buddy? Good to see you here. Big game tonight. Isles win 2. Late win against the Penguins. All is well with the Skull.
Yeah, Austin. Round Rock is literally, our club is literally 15-minute drive from downtown Austin on I-35, exit 251. So fly into Austin. Austin is the 11th largest city in the United States, if you didn't know that, if you're watching from around the country. Great town, great food. You'll love it here. Come visit us at the Lodge. It will be a huge tournament, and the cash games will be sick.
3 clubs on the turn here, and Joe reaching for more chips, fires out a bet close to 500 here. So really putting Apache to the test here. 475 to go. Apache's starting to think, what does this man have? They've played a lot of poker together. They know each other's games. Is Joe doing this possibly with Queen 10? Is he on spades? Does he have a king and have me out-kicked? Maybe he has 2 pair, flop top 2. All these thoughts going through the Apache's head here, in position, facing a 475 bet here.
1 out, though. The 10 of hearts. We know that. He's got 1 out.
Hate to burst your bubble here, Ricky. We're already over 105.
Yes.
Easy. We just started. We're probably with 3-4 hands in. The joke is not coming yet.
It's not coming yet.
It's not coming. We might have to raise the bar to 150 tonight.
You're going to like this joke, Mike.
Oh, I believe it. It's no doubt here. But everybody here watching tonight needs to hit that like button if they haven't done so already. Hit that like button. Smash the subscribe button. Step on it. Tell your friends. Pull a cord there. Do the hokey pokey. Whatever you got to do, just hit that button. And once we get to 125 at least, possibly 150, Rick's going to go blast off here. So Apache makes the call on the turn. 7 of diamonds on the river, pot close to 2K here. And Joe, let's see if he goes for a 3rd street of value. He's reaching. Yep.
He's reaching for some black ones. Each of those black ones, $100. Lots of chips on the table tonight. He's going to make it. Looks like, what, 650? We'll see what it is. 675 is the bet. Can Apache find a way to get away from this? Top pair. Apache getting the massage. Thinking through things here. We want to thank everybody already in the live chat and watching. See a couple of old friends there, familiar faces, and even see our good friend from TCH, Mike, the commentator for their live stream. Always a pleasure. We wish everybody luck in this live stream business. It's good shows from all of us. Make it good for all poker players. He's going to call here, Mikey.
Yeah, I think he's going to pay this one off and see the bad news here. So Apache definitely wanted to take his time. He's got the calling chips all ready to go here. Glasses are up, getting a massage. Only has 1 hand to work with. Not sure it was the best hat selection tonight, but that's okay. Still a good guy. We'll give him a pass on that one here. And he's probably going to pass 675.
He puts it in there.
Makes the call. King 10, no good. Let's ship all the chips to Joe there across the table. Nice hand, Joe.
Joe goes for value and gets quite the value. And Apache's massage just got a little bit more expensive. Apache's a good guy, good quality guy, always nice, regular here at the Lodge, as is Joe.
Yep, big fan of Apache Joe, Big Tony and Cy. Not going to pick favorites there, but I know those guys pretty well. Happy to hang out today with the Traveler and E. Played a little bit with E before. Haven't played with SETI yet, but seems like a cool dude. Yeah, and we're happy to have him here at the Lodge.
Follow them on their social media platforms, of course.
Yeah, the Poker Traveler, and then E's, I believe, is IH Poker, something along those lines.
And folks, the chips that Frank just gave away, those are tip chips. That's how we tip here in Texas, at least at our club. You tip in either chips or cash, specially designed chips. Those silver ones are $1, and the pumpkin or the black and the orange, those are $5 tip chips. So if you see that going Frank's way, that's how he players express their appreciation and tip the dealers.
Yeah, that was a great hand there by Joe on that last one. I like that river sizing. Just enough there for Apache to click the call button there. So well played, Joe.
Yes,
and he's off to a hot start.
Still mute says that was probably the perfect river size. Got the tank call. That's a good point. 8-6-4. 2 spades. Tony with a spade. Ace queen right now in the lead. That's Joe, and Tony's going to say, I'm going to make it 75. Actually calls Apache 75. My bad. So it's heads up between Apache and Tony as we get our graphics situated. A king on the turn, and looks like Big Tony will lead out for 135. It looks like.
Nobody with really anything here.
Apache with ace-5. He does have a straight draw. Looking for a 7.
Doesn't get there, so let's see if
Big Tony continues the story. He's going to make it 190, it looks like. And there's no way.
We've already seen one player make a hero call with ace high. Why not one more? But after you take a big hit on the previous hand there, you're not really too excited to be making hero calls on the river with just ace-5 offsuit. So the Apache lays it down, and Tony's aggression is rewarded.
Big Tony with the aggression. He's been known to put some chips in play, Mikey.
Absolutely. You can pretty much say the same thing about every one of these players at the table. That is why they have been selected to be our first 9 here. If you play kind of nitty, you might be finding yourself on the bottom of these lists here. So
yeah, you got to come to play. You got to bring your A game.
That's just the way it is here. So all these players talented and willing to go after the big pot when the push comes to shove here. So sometimes you don't make your draws. Sometimes you're building up a pot on the flop turn and you go whiff. But you still got to find that extra bullet for the river sometimes if you want to win this game and be good at high stakes poker.
Looks like we've had a 5, 10, 20, a $20 straddle pretty much every time. Yeah. I don't know if the players have decided that's what they're going to do.
Juice it up, Ricky.
Tibor makes it 75. Over to Big Tony. Cy folds is cool. We haven't seen Cy get involved yet as Big Tony calls. It'll go heads up between Big Tony and Tibor. Frank will give us a flop. Ace 10-6 rainbow. Pair of 10s for Big Tony. He's 96% to win at this point. 113 in our live chat. Let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to know where everybody's watching from. We know one person's from Colorado. $100 from Tibor, a call from Big Tony. There's a 5 of spades. And Big Tony's already locked this pot up. No way that Tibor can win this pot.
Tony with the pair of 10s, still good.
Check over to Tibor. Tibor's going to check back, show his king 9, and Big Tony's going to win another one. Big Tony, 2 in a row. The man's en fuego.
That's what we call a winning streak.
Yankee Sam tuning in from Connecticut.
Must be a buddy of Nick from Yuma. I know the famous Nick from Yuma is a Connecticut boy as well, so who knows, maybe Nick walking down the street there in Connecticut promoting the stream. That's what we want to see, buddy.
Manila, that might be one of the farthest we've had watch one of our streams. Boston, was born in Boston. We got Hilton Head, Steve Reisman, who is, I think he's watched every episode. He gets the player's card. You get the free buffet, Mr. Reisman, when you come into Austin. We'll give you a free buffet.
His time's going to be comp for sure when Stevie hits the tables here. We might have to put him at the 1-2 table with 300 cap, but that's okay.
Peanut Butter watching from Indiana, and we've got a raise. Poker Traveler with Queen Jack offsuit, and Jay Wynn, big slick suited, walking back to Houston, Anna Kournikova, whatever you want to call it, and Big Tony Has the same hand.
How about apples and kangaroos?
Apples and kangaroos.
Never heard that one before,
Never,
right?
never.
But you know what?
Probably a reason why.
I might mix it in because we got 2 apples and 2 kangaroos going right now. And Tony gets away from it, so Tony lays down the big slick off. A lot of aces dead already here, and let's see if the Traveler wants to defend his bet. He does, and here we go.
Ooh, great flop for J-Win.
Are those all clubs or 2 clubs?
2 clubs.
Okay, here we go. So, and there's I thought I saw a jack on that flop as well here. So let me see if we can get these graphics in order. I think it's a 9-10 with a jack, but let's just double check here. J-Win not going nowhere with that club draw. Let's take a look at the flop here on the board. Hold on a second. Okay,
Yeah, you did see a jack, so
it
2
was
pair.
a jack here. But now J-Win with Broadway, so the flush didn't get there, but we know J-Win now has a straight. The Traveler with 2 pair, he's going to have to pay this off, it looks like. Definitely worried about ace-king. Possible, queens,
There's a
jack.
4-liner out there,
He's going to lay it down. So, makes, a good lay down there. Trying to hope to maybe see if J-Win shows him, but J-Win's not going to show him nada. He says, if you want to see my holdings, you can see it on the stream a half hour from now. I'm not giving you any information, sir. But what a great lay down there by the Poker Traveler there. 2 pair, thinks he's no good there, gives J-Win credit for a straight, and that's exactly what he had. The cards to Broadway.
Lansing, Michigan. Somebody, Hillbilly, says North Korea. I think that's probably a joke. A good attempt at a joke. And speaking of jokes, we'll probably have a 10-minute countdown for the joke of the night. You guys are going to love this one.
We still got time. We're just getting warmed up here.
It's such a special night that I might give an early and a late edition.
You're not that good yet.
Yes.
Now you're getting cocky on us and all the fans at home. What do you think you are, Adam Sandler? You give us the whole story how you grew up with Adam Sandler. We had sleepovers. Do you think you're now as funny as him?
I'm getting fan mail, Mike.
God.
It has gotten to the point where I am getting fan mail. God. So it looks like we've got a raise. Cy is going to mix it up a little bit.
Yes,
with King 7.
Folding here. King 7 suited, late position, good enough for a raise. But Joe, been hot, has a hand here. And he's going to 3-bet this one up, it looks like, to either 185 or possibly that could be even higher than that. There might be 2 black chips in there. There are 2 blacks, so that is 285. And Cy here makes the call. So a little bit of a loose call here by Cy. Can get himself into trouble potentially. Let's see what the flop brings.
Ooh, King 7-10. There's a set and 2 pair.
Oh, my Lord here. So this is why playing King 7 could be dangerous. And what a flop here. Oh, God, we got to buckle up. This one is not going anywhere. 2 spades. Potentially spades here could slow down the action here. But that looks like not a calling chip. That's a purple chip, 500 bills raised up to Joe. So Joe not slow playing nothing here with his set here. He's going to go into the tank a little bit, think about how he can maneuver. What's the best way here to maximize my profits here?
Ooh, he just said, did he say raise?
He did raise. So we're getting higher here. So now if you are
1,500 now is the bet.
It's really hard for Cy to put Joe on, pocket kings, pocket 7s, because you're blocking that with your own holdings here. Maybe you might be worried about pocket 10s now after the bet, 3-bet, and now 4-bet here to 1-5.
2 pair.
So
against a set.
This one is going to get pretty big here. Cy makes the call here, so this pot is close to 4K already, and we're going to take a turn.
There's the
blank.
deuce.
So what a blank. Irrelevant whatsoever now with the action on the flop here. 2 pair, Cy getting frisky here, opening up the action pre-flop there. Joe not going nowhere. And now Binks his set here, and he is firing out more chips after the re-raise on the flop here. This pot is getting
1,500 again. Over 5 grand is the pot. And Cy, can he get away from this?
I don't think our boy Cy can get away from this here. Again, you're holding a King 7 in your hand here. You're blocking a lot of the potential sets here. You're worried maybe about King 10 or really only pocket 10s. That's really what you're really only worried about. Maybe a Jack Queen of spades type of hand, open-ended flush. That could, you're beating that, right? So you can't go nowhere right now. You might even elect to charge this here. So Cy taking his time here. I can even see him racing this, or he can just kind of play this one slow and see what happens on the river. I don't see him folding.
Makes the call.
I think you ripped it. He said all in.
Okay, all in and a call.
And a snap call by Joe.
Dead
So
to a king.
here we go. This pot is, what, 13-1? At least?
He shows the set, and Cy is looking for a black king.
I think they're going to run it twice. Or, no, Joe says one time. Let's run it once. So they run it one time, and that is it. That's 13.1. Probably that could be our biggest hand ever on poker night at the lodge here. So I got to go back into the archives a little bit, but off the top of my head there, I think we've just witnessed our biggest hand in the first hour. It's like we knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time, and we have reached our biggest pot, and unfortunately Cy comes out on the sour end. But Joe, also a lodge regular and main stayer here from the stream games on Saturday night here, and it's just doubled up.
How can you get away from that, Mikey? Walk us through
The
how
best
you
way
could get away
to
from
getting
it.
away from that is just folding it pre-flop. Because once you spike that, it's really tough, especially when you know Joe and Cy have played with each other a lot in the past, and they're both one for action. It's really, that's just cooler. It's really hard to get away from it there. And Cy pays the maximum there, and Joe with the full double up. And again, our largest pot there, right off the jump, baby.
6.5K winner for Joe, and he's loving life, and he's looking at his phone, looking see if his wife texted him that he needs to go home right now. He might want to go home. There's a nice fat tip for the dealer.
Massive. Let's take a look at our winnings here. Joe up 8K just like that, and our boy Cy down 7K. So everybody else still kind of feeling each other out there, but Joe won the big pot against Apache. Now Joe hits that there, and boom.
All right, you see that, 22, 30, 43, about 50,000 on the table right now, just a quick count. And not too shabby for a Saturday evening at the lodge, Mikey. Just getting started. We're only going to see those chips increase as people get stacked.
More and more. There's a must-move game to this game. We have another full 5-10 full table with the wait list to get on that one. So plenty of people coming to the lodge in Round Rock, the biggest place for action here in Central Texas. Saturday night, a little bit of something for everybody. 1-2, 1-3, 5-10, 5-10 tournaments. Just come on down. If you're waiting right now at home and you want to play some poker, you know where to come to. This is the place.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to our title sponsor, America's Card Room. Believe it or not, they just signed Chris Moneymaker, and we asked our folks if Chris would come to our tournament. He said after COVID, they'll get him down here. So, but I want to thank America's Card Room. If you play online, give them a chance for your action. But if you play live, we hope you call the lodge your poker place. Buck and a squirt is the bet from Poker Traveler with pocket fours. Over to Apache with top pair.
Top pair again. So he lost a big pot with this exact holding, about a half hour ago. Had King 10, but was beat to Joe's larger kicker here. So he's not messing around this time. Raises immediately, and now the Traveler raises it up to 1,100. So fast playing his fours, putting the heat back on Apache, almost basically putting that at a risk for his entire stack.
Yes.
So he has not flopped a set, but he is representing a large hand, possibly King Queen.
That yellow chip, folks, is $1,000. So yo 11.
So most players you'd see would probably just give up the fours there after they get re-raised here, but not the Traveler here again. Once the lights come on, this man is full pedal to the metal here, and he's going to put on a show for his fans, his followers, the people who love the Lodge Poker live stream. He's here to play, ladies and gentlemen. 1,100 to go, Texas Apache. What are you going to do?
Well, and how much does the fact that Apache has gotten touched up early in this, and the fact that he'd be playing for his whole...
Exactly. He's gotten touched up a little bit here. He knows it's the biggest night here. It's a big night, Saturday night at the lodge here. He doesn't want to go bust, though, and potentially get kicked off the stream. I don't know if he has other bullets in his pocket, in his bag, whatever. But this might be his sole buy-in for the stream tonight. Who knows? And now it's being put to the test here. He's being attacked. He's feeling the pressure. He feels the heat, and he's not quite sure what to do. And he makes the fold, which is the incorrect play. So a great hand there by the Traveler. Pocket fours takes it down. He's going to show it. He's going to get him a little steamed up there, send a little bit of a message early on there. Shows the fours, says, I'm here to play. And now you know the Apache's going to be second-guessing himself, saying, wow, that was my opportunity, that was my chance.
Roger open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. each and every day. There's free play for all of our members. So come on in, and as you can see on a Saturday night, it's rocking and rolling. We are the largest card club in the Austin area.
130 plus in the chat. If you have not clicked that like button, you just got to do it right now. You got to stop before this next hand gets too big. You see it right there in the chat, that big thumbs up button. You got to click it. We got to reach out to more and more people tonight. They got to see what's going on here from the Lodge, Table 11. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That's what we need you guys to do here if you're liking what you're watching so far.
Joe raised it to 35. Apache comes along with King Queen, as does E with double nickels, pocket fives. Now with a straight draw for both Joe and E. E makes it 65. We're to Apache. Apache is zigging when he should be zagging and zagging when he should be zigging. And there's the river, 7. Pocket fives are going to take this down.
He's going to check it over here, setting a little trap for Apache, and he's going to shut down as well. Fives are good. So everything going the wrong way for Apache.
Yeah.
And he takes down a nice one.
We'll go on to the next one. Yeah, sometimes we saw it the other night on our live stream with the Chi-Town Cat. Every move he was making, he got slapped in the face. He told me he lost about 1,000 in the live stream. He told me after that he won it all back in the cash game off the live stream. So
yeah,
good for Chi-Town.
Yeah, we're streaming every Wednesday and Saturday, guys. So if you're watching tonight for the first time, tune in again on Wednesday. We're going to have a 1-3 500 cap game, and next Saturday we're going to be planning is to run another 5-5 or a 5-10 uncapped game. So don't forget about the channel. We're here every Wednesday and Saturday.
Looks like a couple players got up, took a little walk. Looks like E made it 30 with his 8-9 offsuit.
Our boy Sai is reaching for more chips, so hopefully we get that count accurate for his chip totals as he has reached for more chips. We'll
King, Queen, Jack, Rainbow. Another Queen. And the 8-9 is in the lead, but everybody's checking. There's a Jack.
That's a whole lot of paint on the board there. I don't see any paint in anybody's holdings here. So
it's like a pinochle deck.
Let's see what happens there. Nobody with anything here. They're all playing the board, and it's going to be choppy.
All right, here's the joke of the day. Buckle your seatbelts, folks. Guy walks into a doctor's office and says, "Doc, I've been talking like this my whole life. Can you please help me?" Doctor says, we've been looking at your chart, and we noticed that you actually, the reason you talk like that is you have 4 testicles instead of 2. We can remove 2 and you can talk normally. Would you like us to do it? Doc, I really want to talk normal, so yes. 3 weeks later, after the operation, the man comes back in and says, "Doc, I can't tell you how much I appreciate I've got a normal voice, but you know what? My wife doesn't like our sex life anymore. Can you please put the other 2 back in?" The doctor looks up from his desk and says, "I won't be able to do that because we already tossed them away."
There we go.
Come on.
Ricky,
bam!
He's heating up, folks. He's heating up. It's like NBA Jam there. He's hit a couple deep threes, and he's approaching Firetown. He's heating up there. I can't even play the cricket noise tonight.
Give me a 1 in the chat if you liked it, a 0 if you didn't like it, 1 if you liked it.
Oh, wow. I like it. I think I might have heard that a couple of years ago, but here we go. We got a Pocket Kings alert here by Tibor.
Tibor with the Cowboys.
One of his kings dead here, and Jaywin's holding here. All clubs again, but he's holding the king of clubs in his holding here. So
I'm getting applause. I'm getting LOL 1s everywhere around. There we go. I delivered tonight to the people.
There you go.
Give the people what they want. Tibor is going to take this down.
Pocket Kings dodging all the bullets. Takes one down. Frankie's going to mix them up. We're going to go to the next one there. So, wow. A lot of approval there. If you like that one, if you haven't clicked that like button, you got to do that too. Not just the ones. You got to smash that like button so we can reach out to more people. If we get to 200 people tonight, Ricky might even fire out another one there.
Yeah,
200 plus.
200 plus, I will. I do
That's
have one
it.
more in my bag.
We're not bringing it out until 200.
Yes.
So there it is.
Looks like we've got a double strudel. Big Tony with the $40 toaster strudel.
Surprise Joe up the world 9K didn't put on the 80. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that.
Yeah, he's got a lot of chips
When you're up
now.
the world, you might need to spice it up to 80, but we'll let him slide.
Now, is Joe a normal player in your 1-3?
Yeah, you know Joe.
Yeah, I know him, but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Joe plays in the 1-3, 2-5, 5-5, whatever you want to play that day. Joe's no stranger to big games in action.
All right, ace 10-4, 2 clubs, a pair of 10s for Big Tony. And he's going to take this pot down. Kristen Stein, loving my joke. You know, yeah, every now and then, a blind squirrel finds a nut. A clock is right twice a day, and Rick can tell a good joke.
Nut or 2 extra testicles, whichever comes first. Joe up 8K, Sai still licking his wounds here. Everybody else still kind of treading water here, still feeling each other out. 9:20 here. We'll be going till at least 11, maybe even a little bit of bonus time here. Maybe if we get over 200 easy, over 250 here, we might have to keep the bright lights on for a little bit. So it's up to you guys. If you guys are liking this game and liking what you're seeing here, share this link with your friends and family. Hit that like and subscribe button. We might be here all night. I'm fine with being here until the Super Bowl. I don't really care, but we need to be here if you're here. If you're not here, we're not going to be here, so we're going to put it in your hands. Ace-Queen for J-Win on the button.
Poker Traveler raises it up, and J-Win's going to come right over the top and say, I don't believe you have me beat. He's going to make it 250. Big Tony will fold. Yes, the Lodge did used to have a podcast. I'll tell you about that in a minute. 8-5-3. Pair of 5s for the Poker Traveler. Both players check. There's another club.
Now, if you're the Traveler here and you pick up that flush draw, you got to be betting this one as he is. And he's going to make it 325. This is going to do it for J-Win. I don't see him floating this one and making a play, so I think the 325 will be good enough, and we're going to be going to the next hand. But my apologies, everybody at home. I am incorrect. J-Win says I'm not going to be pushed around. Let's see another one here.
Two pair now.
He is completely whiffed. Let's see what the Traveler wants to do. He has missed his flush draw, has some showdown value. But he's going to bet that for value, and it looks to be a ray of sunshine here with our sunflower chipper, 1K.
They look so pretty, $1,000 chips.
And J-Win thinking to himself now, am I being punked? Is my ace high good? You see, he kind of pushed the cards away. I don't see him raising this one. So if he's going to be doing anything, I think he's going to potentially call this off and believe in his ace high, or he's going to fold. And I thought he was going to fall on the flop. But if he wasn't buying what the Traveler was selling then, maybe he's doing the same right now. You see, he looks a little confused on his face.
He folds.
Here you go. Good fold.
Good fold. Yeah, the Lodge did used to have a podcast. We ran about 10 interviews where we interviewed.
I was on one of those.
You were on one. We had Johnny Chan on. We had Brad Owen. We had Mike Matisow on.
Nate Kogel as well.
Nate Kogel. Chance Cornuth. We had a bunch of players that we interviewed, and we might bring that back. But yeah, that was fun. We did a little podcast where we interviewed
Card Speak.
Card Speak, yes. That was a precursor to Poker Night at the Lodge. That kind of kicked off everything for us. We had a lot of fun, especially when I interviewed Johnny Chan, man.
That was pretty cool. I listened to that one. I listened to a bunch of those podcasts when I was up on my way to Choctaw. I was playing in one of the WPT events there, and got a nice little 3+ hour drive there, and I banged a lot of those bad boys out on the drive up 35.
Johnny effing Chan.
The guy. The legend, of course.
I wasn't nervous talking to anybody but him. And I don't know why. No. I mean, you know.
Well, you're a pro, Rick.
80 is the bet. Called by Tibor. Actually, Tibor made the raise. Here comes Apache. I want Apache to win a pot here. He's been touched up early, as has Cy. 8, deuce, 4, 2 clubs. Apache does have a club. I think we only have 3 players in this pot. Tibor, Apache, and Cy, if I'm not mistaken. Does Joe have cards?
I don't think so. I think we're heads up with the Cy has cards, but Apache has cards.
Oh, Joe did have cards.
Oh, he does. There he goes.
So Cy with his queen 6.
Joe's got top pair of 8s. Tibor's fired out. Looks to be 230.
Yeah. Cy folded. Over to Joe. He'll make the call with a bunch of chips in front of him. And Apache will go, and it'll be heads up between Tibor and Joe.
Yeah, it's nice to see Tibor back playing here. He has, he's got a busy work schedule here, but he likes big games, and Tibor's got a nice table presence about him. He'll sits the same way, keeps his breathing the same. His hands are usually below the table there, and he's not one to shy away from the stare down there. As you see, he's always eyeing his opponents up and down when he's involved in the hand with them here. So you see he's staring down Joe, action on Joe.
It's the ace on the river.
Joe trying to check his 8 here for showdown value, and now Tibor is spiked to the lead here. Let's see if he realizes it, and does, and he's going to fire out some chips for value. It looks to be a purple, a plum 500. And what's Joe going to do here? Good bluff card on the river here if you're not holding an ace, but of course Tibor is holding an ace here. Tough spot for Joe, and he gets away. So Joe's locked in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Playing great poker, getting max value when he has his hands, and getting away from when he's beat here. So
absolutely.
Much praise here for Joe, seat 8, mixing it up quite well.
Yep. Prior to the big tournament on the 25th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, on the 20th, we had the Art of Poker again, which is always a huge monthly event here at the Lodge. So if you're a tournament player, February is going to be your month here at the Lodge. Guarantee you.
Yeah. There'll be plenty of cash going on as well. So February, a monster month here at the Lodge. People still coming back. I know a lot of people were afraid with COVID in the beginning here, and they're still taking it very seriously. But we got I know you got vaccinated, and a lot of players here that I've been talking to have been getting the shots done. So more and more people coming out, starting to feel comfortable, and we're seeing an increase in a large volume of more games going on and lots more action, as you see tonight. Our biggest game so far. We got 130 plus in the chat here. Like and subscribe.
No, that's not Rob. That's Frank in the box tonight. But yeah, I joke. I joke that it'd be great to have a tournament where every player in their buy-in got a vaccine. How cool would that be? Tony hits a king, but Tibor hits a set of 6s, bottom set. Over to Tony with the top pair. Big Tony will bet 50, it looks like.
Gets raised immediately here, so Tony, a pretty smart individual here. Don't see him really getting out of the line quite often here. The alarm bells aren't ringing just yet here. He's not going to fold just yet with top pair, but Tibor is going to be making this quite expensive for him, I'd imagine here. So Tony going to be put to the test here shortly with a king and a weak kicker here. So I believe Tony has checked. Action on Tibor, as Tony already drawing dead on the turn here, and Tibor reaching for more chips.
Tibor is heating up. He makes those bets so gently. He just gently tosses the chips in.
Yep, just like sliding butter across a piece of bread. A little bit of an appetizer, and that might scare Tony away from his main course here, as he looks to be folding. He'll show.
Good fold.
He'll show he's beat. And I don't know if Tibor just showed his hand or not. We have J-Win Dome in the way, but I think he might have showed him that he made a correct laydown. So I think he did show him, but we're not quite sure. And Tibor Wins a nice little pop, but good on Tony for getting away. So just as I suspected there, I didn't see Tony spraying around too many chips there, even though he did have top pair.
Yeah, Frank, one of our dealers. He's dealt on cruise ships. He's dealt in Vegas.
I hate Frank, so Frank got me against Cooler. So everybody's going to stop giving Frank all the praise. Right now he's in the doghouse, the penalty box, whatever.
Hey, as a dealer who deals every now and again, it ain't the dealer's fault.
Please. Set of aces, rainbow flop, and I lose the hand.
Okay, it's the dealer's fault.
Come on now. Come on now.
Buck and a squirt raise from the Poker Traveler with his pocket sixes. Here comes a re-raise. J-Win, king, queen of diamonds. Very nice looking starter. Big Tony and Cy get out of the way as Joe and Bones. We haven't seen Bones mix it up yet.
Yeah, Bones is going to have to start getting a little active.
Here comes the call from Poker Traveler and J-Win. They've tussled before.
Bones won the old rock, paper, scissors for the final seat here, but hasn't been mixing up his stack just yet.
Jack 8-5, 2 hearts. 6 is still in the lead for Poker Traveler. He checks.
That's right, Kevin. Frank's definitely in the penalty box. If you were here tonight, you would have gotten the nod, but hopefully you get better soon and you come back in the mix. 300
is called by Poker Traveler. King, now J-Win has his pair, moves ahead.
Yeah, tricky spot here with sixes. You know, you haven't connected with your set. 3 cards over to your sixes here, so a lot's beating you here. Let's see if Poker Traveler believes J-Win as he's reaching for more chips. We've already seen the Traveler raise up his pair of 4s on a similar board like this, but I don't think he's going to be mixing that up again here.
Looks like 600 is the bet.
600 there. 600 for Poker Traveler sixes here, and I suspect that this will do it for the Traveler, and these cards will go into the muck here. But Poker Traveler has some moves.
Alex Tom Brady D'Amico asked if Cy actually ironed his shirt tonight. Hey, Cy just lost a $6,000 pot. We're not going to.
I don't know if Alex is one to be talking here when he wears his wrinkly Tom Brady jersey to work every other Sunday. I mean, has that thing been washed in 4 weeks? Probably not. He's probably claiming it's his lucky jersey because they've been winning, and I don't think that thing's been washed in weeks.
You know my theory on if you're over the age of 21 and you wear a jersey with somebody else's name and number on it, I don't get it, but I know you wear a lot of jerseys.
I really haven't been wearing many jerseys today. I own a couple jerseys. If I go to a game in the arena, I'll rock a jersey, but I don't really rock jerseys out in public on a daily basis. But
there you see the cumulative winnings. Joe winning $7,500, and everyone else is not. Joe is loving life right now. He's looking to buy a new set of blue gloves from the Blue Man Group. He's wearing his gloves at the table, all dressed up. And you notice every player in the lodge gets their temperature checked and must wear a mask. We have hand sanitizers all over the place here at the lodge. We do our best to keep everything as clean as possible. 75 is the bet. I did notice in Austin got some good news as our rates are going way down. So it's about time, and hopefully the combination of a lot of vaccines and everybody being
I'm sure
safe.
that was expected with the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday that we were going to have a spike. So now that that's in the rear view and we got more vaccinations going out to the public, those numbers are going to start going down, and that's what you love to see. We also love to see 140 of you in the chat, so I know some new people are in here right now. If you have not clicked that like button, I'm going to keep reminding y'all. Uh-oh, top set alert for J-Win, so pause. We have top pair for Tony again, so let's see what happens here. All the 7s out dead. Top pair, top set on the flop here, and J-Win looks to be checking it, setting the trap here on the 7-4 deuce rainbow flop.
Big Tony's going to take the bait. Big Tony with his top pair.
Rightfully so here, you know, gets checked around here, top pair of 7s. Might as well fire out a little bet, try and thin down the field, so can't fault him at all for this bet. And Sticky Joe. Joe says, you know, I'm so hot tonight I can't lose. I might as well peel and maybe even bank my 5 on the turn. So he's not going yet, not giving credit to Tony for a 7 here, and just what J-Win wanted. The trap working to perfection here, and he's going to be raising it up right now. No waiting.
600. is going to be the bet from Jay-Win. That's kind of his go-to raise. And I am corrected. Cy did lose $6K in one pot. He didn't lose a $6,000 pot. It was more like a $13,000 pot. His share was about $6K. So yes, I stand corrected. Believe it or not, we make mistakes every now and then. So Jay-Win raises to 600. Over to Tony. Tony and Joe. Tony has Joe behind him. And Joe with pocket fives, it's going to be tough for Joe to call. And because Joe is behind Tony, Mike, it's going to be even tougher for Tony to call.
Yeah, exactly. You're not quite sure what the gentleman behind you has, so I think this bet's going to get it done here. Tony going to give him credit for it. Tony not that familiar with Jay-Win. I believe they played once or twice, but the back raise there, the trap is going to get it through. Not really what Jay-Win wanted there. Didn't really want his opponents to fold there. Was hoping to get a call, or maybe somebody had an overpair, or God forbid 4s and 2s, and he was hoping to get it all in there. But everybody else folds, and Jay-Win takes it down.
Yeah, we're not even going to play that game tonight about political. It doesn't matter if you think masks are important. The bottom line is it's a city ordinance, and they're important to the lodge. So that'll be it for that conversation. On to the next hand.
Yeah, 150 in the chat here. So again, help us out, spread it out. If we get to 200 tonight, we're going to let Rick loose again. He's been hot tonight, hot the last 2 weeks.
Dude, I've got jokes coming this way and that way.
Wednesdays and Saturdays, we're here every night around 8 Central Time, streaming for you guys. Big games usually on Saturday. Lots of action still on Wednesday. So if you like poker, this is your channel. This is your place to be.
Tony folds his king deuce. Joe, looking down at 9-7 in late position, will fold. Here comes Bones. Haven't seen him along, and he'll call the $10 over to Apache. Actually, Bones raise it? Huh, interesting. I thought he just called.
Yeah, everybody runs to the hills there, so Bones has been pretty quiet. Bones pretty methodical. One of Austin's finest, too. You know, he's just got a smart head on his shoulder, so Bones isn't going to be doing anything stupid here. We'd like to see him loosen up a little bit, mix it up here. I know a lot of people want this seat, but we'll give Bones a little bit of a break because he's earned it. He's earned the respect of a lot of players here around town. So we're happy to have him here at the lodge mixing it up along with the Traveler and E. Meetup game tonight, 5-10 uncapped, no limit hold'em.
We'll go on to the next hand. Looks like we've got another $20 straddle. Jay-Win with the straddle. Here comes a raise from Poker Traveler. Poker Traveler makes it 100 with Jack-6 offsuit. Actually, the 75, and Jay-Win makes the call. Flop comes 10-6 ace, and Jay-Win flops 2 pair. Poker Traveler's going to, he hits bottom pair, but 2 pairs better than 1 pair, and Jay-Win might raise it up here.
Yeah, 2 pair backdoor hearts. But he's not, just flats is here, so we're going to take a turn. And now he has completed the boat, and the Traveler has a set of 6s here. So here we go.
It could get ugly. There's a bet, 210 from the Poker Traveler. Jay-Win just thinking about Vegas and the Mirage.
I think you've got to raise this one up now. You can't really afford to. You know, we're playing such deep poker here. You want to try and build up a pot here, set up a nice river-sized bet here. Poker Traveler very well could have an ace, a strong ace, possibly ace-10, ace-queen, very strong type of holdings here that you have crushed. So you got to juice this one up now, no waiting. And that's exactly what Jay-Win's doing as he raises it up. It looks to be
maybe 750?
Yeah, 750.
So from 210 to 750, back over to Poker Traveler. There's no way Poker Traveler's getting away from trips, is it, Mike?
No, he's not getting away here. He's going to be paying this one off or raising, and he just makes the call here.
Wow,
so
another big one here.
Let's see. Really just drawing. Needs a jack. Not that 9's not going to help him here. So Jay-Win has this one locked up. Potentially the Traveler maybe put Jay-Win on some spade draws, trying to get frisky, raise it up, or again, a strong ace. Maybe he has a strong ace. So All these thoughts going through these opponents' heads here. We got a nice juicy pot building here. The Traveler checks it to Jaywin, and Jaywin over
Quick
a
call.
snap call. So the boat gets snap called, and the Traveler sees the bad news.
So I believe that's $2,000, a roll of blacks.
Yeah.
It is, and 2 yellows go into the pot, and Jaywin. And he's wondering right now, Mike, could I have bet more?
You probably could have bet more there. Maybe you raise it up a little bit more on the turn, but you don't really want to run that risk of your opponent folding there. But when your opponent snaps you off on such a large bet, that means that they weren't really thinking about anything, right?
Right.
So you really want to find that number where you have your opponent kind of squirming in the blender, not really sure what to do. And Poker Traveler, no stranger to high-stakes poker, could have possibly gone a little bit more, but still, when you get 2K on the river there, you're happy with your hand there, and you'll take it. So a nice pot there for Jaywin, and we're going to have some more carnage and bloodshed sprayed across table 11 as now Jaywin trying to reach Joe's number, but still a long way to go because Joe off to that hot, steaming hot start. But wow, Ricky, hour to go here, and this has been exciting so far.
This has been exciting. Kevin has a question for you, Mikey, about the AHL team here in town.
Yeah, I have been to a bunch of Texas Star games here, Kevin. They're pretty fun.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go. Uh-oh, sorry.
Poker Traveler with the jiggities.
Pause, so we might have a little bit of a steamer. He might be a little bit steamed up here, and he's just going to try and shut this down right now. Says, let's go. Who wants to gamble? I don't care. I'm going to put my whole stack in here. So that's what happens when you lose a 2K pot there. You take off the gloves, you get in the middle of the ring, and you say, come at me, bro.
Poker Traveler.
Nobody's
Apache.
calling this one,
No.
so I'm going to answer Kevin's question. Kevin, yes, I've been to a bunch of AHL games here at Cedar Park. They're a bunch of fun. They got cheap beer deals. I know you're not really the biggest beer drinker, but it's a good time. All the seats are good for viewing. So I'll be going back out there again when those games get running. What's up, Johnny? Thanks for joining us, Johnny.
Yep, they play in the Cedar Park Center, which is a very beautiful 8,000-seat arena, maybe 9,000 with luxury suites. Not a bad seat in the house. The Austin Spurs play there, the G League team of the Spurs.
I've been to one of those games as well. I'm not really a huge basketball fan, but I got some free seats to them one night, and I had a good time up there as well.
And then I just drove by the MLS stadium as I was driving down 183.
Yep.
My goodness, that thing looks nice. I might even go to a soccer game.
Yeah,
I don't even like soccer.
Those seats are going to be hard to come by early on. There's a lot of buzz about that, and I'm going to be trying to get some seats for that as well.
King 10, Poker Traveler on the button. After he lost a big hand to Jaywin, is kind of wanting to get some of those chips back, and he'll take this one down as well, his second one in a row.
Yeah. .940 going on here. I see that 5-10 must-move game there in the back, still full.
Well, they want to get to the live stream.
Yeah, long list here to be under the lights, under the big lights showtime. Table
Under the lights. You know, my radio show about high school football is called Under the Lights.
Oh, there you go. Free plug.
Austin's #1 radio station, The Horn, Wednesdays during football season. All about that high school football. Bones with Ace-4 comes in with the raise.
On time. You can't get enough of Rick on the stream. You know where to find him. If he's not also at the 1-2 table spraying money like a donkey.
Oh, God. Yeah, I had a good night and then back to a bad night.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna invest in a lesson from
not me today, because I just got crushed. But I got it in good, so I can't really complain about that. Here we go.
After 35 years, I think I might take a lesson. 5-10 queen, 2 spades. Queen 10 for E. Top 2.
Top 2 for E. Bones completely whiffs. Tony with bottom pair.
It's a dry vacuum pump that they use for cleaning. 150. Like when they're making phone chips.
Apache hasn't been able to get anything going tonight.
No, definitely got into some tough spots there. He had top pair and just was out-kicked, and then top pair got blown off. Basically, he was almost facing pretty much a bet for his whole stack. He didn't let that one go.
And it looks like Joe and Cy are talking. Maybe you think they're talking about the big hand they played?
They might be. They're pretty friendly and familiar with each other. So I know Cy's definitely still a little steamed up. He's going to be thinking about that one for a little while. So he's definitely probably talking to Joe about that one.
You see the cumulative winnings. Joe 7.5K, Jay Win 3.8K. Everybody else under 1,000. And then losing is in the lead in the loss column is our man Cy, who looking to get out of that. He just rebought a bunch of chips and brought them back to the table.
We're going to have to get his graphics updated as well here, because I think it only gave him credit for 2.5K, but he looks to have about, he's got 7, 8, he's got
at least 9,000.
At least 9, so we're going to need to get that updated.
Yeah, because he's got 4 in black.
Yeah, when he gets involved in the hand, we'll get that fixed.
Frank will give us a flop. 4, 6, 10 rainbow. Looks like really everybody has a shot at this hand. Pair of 4s for 2 players. Ben Dog, you missed a lot. You missed a couple big pots and one of the greatest jokes ever told. Ace on the river.
Jesus.
He's
starting to feel himself now. He's getting cocky, folks. Getting a little bit cocky here in the booth.
Interesting. Poker Traveler and Joe are going to chop that bad boy up, each with a pair of 4s. Lots of money on the table right now. I think we started the stream with about 50K, a little over 50K on the table. Now with some buy-ins, some rebuys, we've got probably closer to 65K on the table. Certainly the most chips that the Lodge stream has ever had. We were just a 3-month-old show doing live streams, and we decided to kick it up a notch and make this a 5-10 game.
And rightfully so. Definitely have the demand. We got 2 full tables going on here. I know not everybody likes to play the stream games, so people get nervous, don't want the attention, etc. But these 9 players, not afraid and willing to put on a show for everybody at home here. We got Bones putting on, looks to be a straddle.
Cheryl asked, she didn't know how it didn't get all in with the boat versus the trips, and we talked a little bit about that maybe Jay Wynn could have put a little bit more money into the pot because it was such a quick call from the Poker Traveler, but
yeah, still a bit about a pot-sized bet there on the river there, so could have raised it a little bit more up on the flop there, trying to make that pot a little bit larger so you can get it all in there, but still a nice size win there for Jay Wynn.
Yeah, I don't know whether to answer that Ben Dog question or not. Yeah, it's pretty much real money.
Yeah, this is real money.
Chips can get
it's real
exchanged at the cage for real dollar bills. So, yeah. So it looks like we've got ace, ace, deuce. No player with an ace. There's a king. E now has locked this pot up as long as he stays in with his king jack. He doesn't know that, though.
Yeah, still plenty of people on his hand. He's in rough position there, so it checks all the way around here. Let's see if he bets for value on the river here after that turn has checked around here. Still early position, and he will. So he's reaching for chips there, goes for 200. And nobody's going to be calling because nobody has much of a hand there, and he's going to take it down.
Yeah, Jason S., sorry about that, but we're going to put you in the penalty box. That's what happens, folks. We're just having fun here. That's all we're doing. so don't get into politics because we ain't buying it.
No, we're here for the poker and the excitement here. Obviously, Rick's jokes. And that's what we're here for. $1.50 in the chat here. Like and subscribe to that channel. Let's see how many likes we got. We're doing a like check. We need to get more likes. How many we got, baby? 40. Not enough, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have not clicked that like button, please do. It will help us out tremendously as we reach more and more viewers, potentially for the first time. Looks like another 1-3 must-move table opening up behind the big game here. So just lots of action here tonight from the Lodge in Round Rock Saturday night before the Super Bowl. Here we go.
There's a call. We haven't heard from E in a while. E, Tibor, and Cy to the flop. Ace, deuce, 10, and Cy hits an ace. Don't know what E has, as his reader might be a little bit behind. There's Cy with his ace. Will put 2 black chips in. That's $200.
He's not folding, and he's going to make a call for 200. Not quite sure what he has here. Probably didn't wash him enough over the sensor there, but has his cards over him right now. But we're going to play a little bit of a mystery hand here and see what he has here. So now trips for Cy. He checks again. Tibor there. Got to be a little bit worried about the ace here in a multi-way pot as he stares down Cy, and Cy's going to be reaching for more chips. Fires out $500.
$500 over to E. Don't know what he has. He's got a little warrior on his cards.
But this little warrior, he does that with Poker Traveler and some other people you see doing it. So if you stack them completely, you exchange warriors. So if he loses all his chips to a player at the table, that warrior is going with his chips. You can either take it or not, up to you here. So E is raising him. He just calls for 500. I thought he was raising that up here. So not quite sure what E has here, but he makes the call. And we got a nice pot here brewing. Let's take a river, possibly on clubs perhaps, but dangerous to be chasing the flush there on the paired board already. Now the queen. So Tibor is out of this hand here. We are now heads up, E and Cy. So even though Cy has the check mark here, we're still not quite sure what E has.
Yeah.
So hold on, goes check, check. So E's going to show. Looks like no, he's not going to show. Doesn't have a beat. Says he missed, and the trips are good for Cy. So Cy with a little bit of a rebound there takes down a nice pot.
Yeah, and those gold chips are $2 tip chips that Cy is given to Frank. So Frank making a good amount tonight. That as the players have been extremely generous, and we have, all the dealers really are working for the tips, and they do a good job. And players who appreciate dealers tend to.
Yeah, Ben Dog. So the minimum buy-in was 1,000, and the maximum was uncapped here. But the smallest buy-in that we actually had was 4K. So we had 4K, 7K, 8K, a couple 10Ks. So a couple people have been felted already here. So we're approaching 70K plus on the table, possibly more. So big stakes poker here tonight, live in Round Rock Table 11. We also have a full 5-10 table on the side here, waiting to get into this game. But I don't think any of these fine gentlemen will be leaving when the action's been this good so far. And if you missed Rick's joke, just like each and every week, these streams are updated to our channel, so like and subscribe to that, and you can scroll back and find it yourself at your own leisure.
Poker Traveler makes it 75. Tibor came along.
Can't be making Rick's head any bigger than it already is by telling the same joke twice. I mean, come on now, Ben. You know better than that.
So we've got a King Jack 6 on the flop. King Jack 9. Actually 9 on the turn of hearts. And here comes Bones with 150. Over to Tibor as Poker Traveler goes out. Tibor with 8-10. He does have an open ender right now. As Bones has the straight.
Tibor eyeing him up here, thinking about it. Takes a look at his chips here. Goes back at Bones here. So Bones staring right back at him here. So we have a stare down alert taking place. It's heated, and Tibor's not going nowhere. Makes the call.
Did he just call or did he raise? He put a purple out there.
Oh, I did not see the
Yeah.
purple. So then
Raised to 550.
I thought that was a black one. So
Yeah.
pardon me here. We have raised it up here. And Bones with the stone cold nuts at the moment here. Let's see if he wants to make Tibor pay about that now or potentially set up a trap for the river here. So again, Bones has been pretty quiet so far. So when a player's been this quiet, they tend to get a little bit more respect here. So if he comes up over the top here with another raise, that will likely scare Tibor off the thought here.
Tibor can only hope for a chop. He cannot win this pot. And here comes Bones.
We're going to raise it up right now.
Looks like it's going to be maybe 1450 is now the bet. 1450, so he raised $900.
Yeah, so Tibor with his hands in the cookie jar, a little bit deep.
1550.
The jar is closing in on his fingers. He's worried about potentially losing a pinky here. He's in too deep. Can he get out of that jar without losing any more fingers here? Let's see.
If he's thinking his open-ender is a chance for the nut draw,
Dangerous here. Diamonds on, so you never know. Maybe Bones is doing this with diamonds and potentially, maybe Tibor hits it straight on the river, but it's a diamond and that's what Bones has. You're still losing here. So you attempt to make a play on this one, but now after Bones does not back down here, I think you got to let this one go if you're sitting in Tibor's spot here. Let's see if he wants to gamble a little bit and try and get frisky here on the river here. But after this raise from Bones, very strong. You're not really beating anything with your 10 high, and you're just drawing through a straight on a pretty wet board already here. So I think he's going to let it go, and that's what he does.
Bones will take it down with the nuts, and he'll go on to the next one. I believe that's the first hand we've seen Bones really involved in, and he climbs up the leaderboard.
Yeah, first kind of large pot. He's won a couple small ones there, but a nice hand there by Bones. Easy game there when you turn the nuts. Inside, the Poker Traveler Apache there throwing the party a little bit here. And Tony and Tibor treading water. Same with E, but our big winners so far, Joe and Jay win.
We'll go on to the next pot. Looks like the straddles aren't there. Looks like we've got a hunk of $100 bills on the table. Poker Traveler has got a banded set of bills.
Flexing a little bit.
Of course,
might be rebuying. We'll see. Who knows?
We'll see.
He's got backup soldiers that might have to come and show their face.
35 is the bet from Big Tony. Over to E. E will make the call over to Apache now. Apache looks to be raising now. We don't know what he has, but he's reaching for raisin chips.
Ben Dog, there's a list of about 10 players waiting to get onto this list here. So, long list of players waiting to get into this game, but I don't see that taking place as we can only stream one table. And I don't see
240
in here. So
240 is the bet now from Apache. E calls, and so does Big Tony. Back over to E, and he'll fold. So Poker Traveler, Big Tony, and Apache to the flop. Frank will give it to us. King 9-8, Rainbow.
Top pair for Poker Traveler.
Oh,
Apache here with the bullets here. These two have butt heads before.
He goes all
He
in.
might have just ripped it, over betting the pot, so it looks to be close to 1,200.
Yeah.
And now if your Poker Traveler was still a player behind and you think top pair, you're really put in a tough spot. But when you put those bands out there, you're like saying, okay, I'm still ready to go. So I think the Poker Traveler's going to pay this one off here. Looks kind of bluffy perhaps, and he does. So he makes the call here. Tony's going to fold his 9 now. They'll see him calling after an all-in and a call. So Tony's going to clear the water here, put his 9s to bed a little bit early. He doesn't love it, The 9s is kind of like, it's like a teenager, They're kind of old enough to play, but you just got to put a little curfew on them and send them to bed early. So he's going to look at his 9s, fold them, And Poker Traveler's going to see the bad news, going to need to get lucky with a king or a 10.
Apache, they're asking, do you want to run it multiple times? And they're going to say one time. Frank is going to deal it one time.
One time. It's been one time only tonight so far there. Clean turn for Apache.
4 outs. Doesn't get there.
And River. So Apache, after getting beaten up a little bit, will get the full double via the Poker Traveler here. And good one for Apache, as Poker Traveler might need to call for some more chips, it looks like. Who knows? He's still got plenty.
Oh, he's got plenty of chips. Mikey, do you always like to be have the largest stack at the table coming into a game? Would
Depends.
you buy the large stack at this point
always.
if you were coming in?
If I was going to sit down at this table right now, I would probably buy it for 6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah. This game's pretty big. You don't usually play this big of a game on a normal basis.
On to the next one.
Depends on the day, how we're feeling, how our minds, we're feeling fresh. But I usually buy it pretty large.
Boy, the Lodgers hopping tonight. A lot of action going on right now in this room. If you're a poker player, we invite you. February is the month for the Lodge. So much happening. Our big tournament, February 25th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, 3-day ones. All starts on Thursday, the 25th. Thursday the 25th, Friday the 26th, Saturday the 27th will be day ones. And then day 2, it'll all end on Sunday, February 28th. We will stream that final table live. We will also do some fun things during that week. So stick around. We still haven't decided our schedule for the first 3 days of the tournament, but we do know we'll be live streaming the final table of the tournament for sure. Over to Apache, who just won a big hand. You see that $1,000 chip on top of his stack. Like to see that as he got touched up early. Apache looks down at one of my favorite hands, 6-7 of clubs. Always remember that hand. I flopped a straight flush years ago at the Mirage, 3-4-5 of clubs. Other player had ace deuce of clubs. We both flopped a straight flush. There was no jackpot at the Mirage at the time, but I did win a large hand. King, Queen, 6, rainbow.
Top 2 for the Traveler.
150 in the live chat. I think that might be our record so far. Thank you, folks.
Yeah, we've been having a consistent 150 in the chat all night long. So hit that like button for us if you're new. And we're here every Saturday and Wednesday night here streaming live poker from the Lodge in Round Rock.
230 is the bet from Tibor.
So Tibor not afraid to be mixing it up here. Look at the Traveler here kind of having a conversation with our boy Corey on the side table here. Just have top 2. No problem. Have somebody betting into me here. Let's see if he's going to raise it up now. Looks like he is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm stuck. I got to get it in right now, but Tibor just with ace high. Keeps trying to make plays. Got to applaud him for trying to make plays here, but just doesn't have it and can't compete with the top 2 of the Traveler, and he takes down a nice little pop.
675 goes to bed. If you want him to think you were contemplating a call, Rick, when I flopped the straight flush, yeah, it happened so long ago. I just remember him betting into me and me just calling, and then on the turn, he bet into me, and me calling, and then on the river, he bet into me, and I put it all in. I just let him do all the heavy lifting because I wanted it to go to showdown, because I wanted to show my straight flush, for goodness sakes.
You still showed it. You still showed it, so all was well.
Yeah. Tough break for him.
Even if you folded, you would have flipped it over and showed the table.
I just wish there was a jackpot. That would have been a jackpot hand.
Yeah. That's a little unlucky. I flopped the royal flush at
It,
Aria.
it actually, I didn't have to think about the Mirage. It was in the Mirage. It was in the Mirage where it all happened. 1990, the year after the Mirage opened. That's how old I am, Mikey. Were you even born yet in 1990?
I was alive for a couple of years there, Rick. Not many.
King 10-3. Flush draw for Cy. Mirage opened Christmas Day, 1989.
Raising it up here with his flush draw. Traveler open-ended, but queen high still good here. So an interesting pot here brewing. 7-10 in the pot.
There's a 9 on the turn.
He gets his straight here. And remember, these stack sizes are off a little bit.
Ooh, the King of Hearts.
Here we go. The board is paired. Cy has over... just calls. So Cy a little gun shy, potentially a larger flush or potentially a boat. But Cy stack's still a little off there. He has close to 8K there. So keep that in mind when Cy gets involved in pots. Way over 5K in his hand.
Yeah, I know I'm old. I'm 54. I've started playing poker when I was 18 years old. So what was that, 36 years ago? And believe it or not, when I first started going to Vegas in the 80s, Mike, they didn't have a lot of Texas Hold'em, no limit Texas Hold'em. The majority of the games in the casinos at the time were stud games, 7-card stud, 5-card stud, maybe a few Omaha games, but very few Hold'em games, and they were never no limit. They were all limit Hold'em. So things have changed dramatically. Now you can't find one of those other games. You can never find a stud game. Forget it.
Fred Flintstone took all those stud games back to Bedrock, and now poof, it's a no-limit world. So I know you were showing me the pictures with Sandler. I haven't seen those with Mr. Flintstone, but I might need to see those.
Wasn't that long ago. There's the raise, Poker Traveler. Actually, Bones makes it 125. Poker Traveler comes along with his King 10. And Big Tony will come along. So we've got 3 players. Bones with pocket kings. Big Tony with 7-4 of hearts. Ace 5-4, not a very good flop for Bones. As the ace comes out to ruin his pocket kings, but he don't care. He's going to charge ahead. Quick call from Big Tony with a pair of 4s. There's the 10 of diamonds. So 4 outs for Big Tony as he checks over to Bones. Bones checks back. Here's the river. There's the 3. So now the 4-liner to a straight. Big Tony's going to make the play at it.
It's got to be very large if he wants to get Bones off of this. Not going to be large enough. Pretty milky here, but I think Bones is going to take this off. If you got it type hand. A deuce or an ace does have him beat, obviously, but for that price, I think you got to look the man up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, folks, Daniel, pretty sure the Mirage opened in Christmas in 1989. So if you played before 1990, you probably would have played December 26th through the 31st because those were the only days it was open before 1990. I'm 99% sure I'm right on that, but you could Google it, tell me I'm wrong, and I'll admit it. So Big Tony makes it 180. 4-liner to a straight, Mikey. It's very tough.
Yeah, Bones taking his time here.
He makes the call.
Thought Bones would kind of make this call here, so Tony will show him pair of 4s, no good, so Bones taking his time. They're really thinking it through, but ends up paying it off. And Bones wins a nice one.
Bones starting to heat up, play a few hands, pull a few chips his way. Aggression frequency, you see Poker Traveler way out in front. 51%, Tibor close behind at 41%. Pre-flop raise. You see those stats? Hey, if you want to get involved and be on the poker live stream, get in touch with Mike the Skull Reisman.
Yeah, you got the scroll going on the bottom of
I
the
don't know if
screen here.
I don't know if your email is up. We'll see. If it's not, we'll give it to you. There's a $65 call as Bones makes it 65. There we go. If you'd like to play on our live stream, there's at the bottom is how you get in touch with Mike the Skull Reisman. SkullMikePoker@gmail.com.
Yeah, might be changing that here in the future too, and add the lodge.com to that one too, so stay tuned for that. But right now, Skull Mike Poker will do.
King 10-5 Rainbow and Poker Traveler with the open ender. Don't know what Bones has. Big Tony will get out of the way, and Bones will say, see you later, and Poker Traveler will win a hand. We'll go on to the next one. Let's get a 2040 stream. Hey, anything could happen. We've done some crazy things. Remember a few weeks ago we had where 9 players came with $1,000 in their hand, put it on the table, and we ran a winner-take-all tournament for $9,000. That was fun. Then we've done a 1-3. We've done a 5-5, uncapped. So we, if you build it, they will come. And
I think Kev's talking about 2040 limit stream.
Oh, a 2040 limit. Okay.
Be,
Yeah, I don't think there's much appetite for the limit.
But we'll play a limit here on the side tables.
Surely. The dealers around here have a fun time once a month. They get in the back room and dealers only and throw around some chips and some limit games. It's fun. King 6-3, 2 spades. J-Win with the spade draw.
Everybody else whiffs, so let's see. J-Win fires out bet 60 for his flush draw.
Fold by Big Tony and Bones. And J-Win's going to win another pot. And the button, did we lose? No, T-Board must have just taken a break.
Still got his chips there.
Yeah,
so
he's still there.
Just walking away from the table for a little bit.
Title sponsor, America's Card Room. We really want to thank them. They've been with us really since show number 1 when we had no viewers at all. Now we're getting all sorts of viewers, and they are really happy. And they're going to be a big part of the tournament at the end of the month. They're going to give each player a special gift who enters the tournament. So they're going to be part of the, and our live stream table that night will be known as the ACR feature table. So on that big tournament, February 25th through the 28th, I heard the radio ad on the Horn, 104.9 The Horn. I heard a radio ad for the Lodge today and about that tournament, so really getting the word out.
Races it up here. Everybody here with marginal holdings here. Jay wins ace 6 of spades in the lead. So if you see some spades on this flop, there'll be trouble. But we do not.
Jack 10-7.
2 hearts. So Patchy with the flush draw. Tony middle pair.
165.
Side's going to put out, looks like 165 maybe? Yep, 165 over to Big Tony with middle pair and a backdoor straight draw. He says, I got chips. I'll play along with you, Side. Apache looking down at his flush draw says it might be tasty enough for me to get along. The problem with the bottom hearts is if the flush does come, somebody else could easily have better hearts. They would definitely have better hearts.
You are learning, especially here multi-way.
There's the 7. Two pair now for Big Tony.
Cy didn't enter this pot without moves to be made later on here, so maybe he's going to try and represent a 7 perhaps, but still when you're on the button, trying to represent a 7 kind of fishy. Looks
Check
like
from Apache.
Check from Apache, so I believe the action right now on Cy on the button here, and he only has
He does have a straight
high.
draw. It's an 8. He'll have a straight. He makes it 600, and that's more important than what he has in his hand is what he puts in the pot.
Either player holding a jack or a 7. Hard to represent that 7. But Tony, who we see has the best hand currently, makes the fold.
Wow.
Action back on Apache, and now when the board pairs, makes it a little bit more less appetizing and appealing to be chasing that flush draw, especially when it's only 4 high. So Cy takes it down.
9 high like a boss.
9 high like a boss. Kind of debating, do I want to show it?
He shows
He
it.
does. Oh, there we go. So wants to show it. Too bad a couple people at the table have walked away there, but Cy can't resist. Shows it and is clawing back down to 4.5. Take a look at our winnings here. Joe J-Win still the boss man of the party here. Cy, Poker Traveler bringing up the rear, but still lots of poker to be played. So anything can happen here with the depending on how the cards fall. So don't go anywhere just yet.
Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, I do. I'm not full-time, but I have for 4 years, I've had a radio show during football season about high school football, so I like to think I am a radio announcer. Looks like the straddle from E in seat 1. And Big Tony, he just likes to play some pots. He's got ace-jack offsuit. Big Tony has probably been in, what do you think, 70% of the pots?
Might be a little high.
All right.
Might be a little high, but he's picking up some decent holdings here. On the button in position, makes a raise. Joe comes along now. Bones picks up 2 paint cards. Doesn't elect to 3-bet it. We'll just smooth call.
2 players with the same hand.
So we got 3 players on that same side of the table going at it here, and everybody whiffs. So let's see who wants to win this pot here. Joe is probably going to check it. Bones is probably going to check this. Now does Tony want to c-bet this one, represent a larger holding, and he does. And this bet might get through here. Let's see if 2 opponents want to float out of position.
130.
Doesn't look like they're trying to get too spicy. Joe has such a big stack. Joe doesn't like folding, so I think Joe might make this call and Bones will send his cards into the muck, but let's see. And that doesn't look to be calling chip. That looks to be raising chip. So Joe bringing his A game tonight.
375 is the bet.
And both these gentlemen have the same hand. So here's one way to play ace-jack, and here's another way to play ace-jack on a board like this. And Joe takes down another one here. So if you were in Camp Joe, or if you were Joe yourself, you might want to run this tape back. Give yourself a little bit of a pat on the back. She's playing some great poker tonight.
Wearing his best Blue Man Group impression.
Yeah, those gloves has been a staple of Joe.
You ever seen the Blue Man Group out in Vegas?
Yeah, saw the Blue Man Group. Kind of cool.
Very cool show.
Pretty cool.
Saw them first in Boston. We didn't even know what they were before their old Intel fame came along.
Well, they were poker players. Since Joe was probably a member of the group. He's only on, he only got part of his costume on right now.
But it was an incredible experience.
Joe is actually like a kind of like a break dancer. Did you know that?
I did not know
In
that.
his prime, or not really like a break dancer, but he's not a contortionist, but he moves his arms and legs and kind of.
Was he in Cirque du Soleil?
Kind of like, oh, Tony waking up with aces here. So
there we go.
Let's get back to the poker as I'm stumbling here. And Joe with 9s.
Big Tony makes it 230. And Joe, who's got all the chips in the world, is going to at least call.
And now he's on the button.
Wow. Aces versus 9s. And over to Apache with Queen 10. He's going to toss it in. Back over to Poker Traveler with King Jack offsuit.
I had aces twice today and got cracked both times on some gross runouts. So I'm getting a little angry even looking at him again. But here we go. Three-way to a flop. 3 decent hands, 1 very, very strong hand. And let's see what the flop brings.
Frank will give it to us. 9 Jack 8.
So can Joe get any hotter?
Joe is in
Just as
fuego.
we start talking him up, dancing like MJ or Usher, boom, his opponent has aces. And I'm on the button. Middle set. Might be worried about
Tony makes a very high bet.
Might be worried
420.
about Queen 10, but it's a little bit too early to be worried about anything here when we're so deep stacked.
You didn't even get my joke there.
What was that fired again?
I said he made a very high bet, 420.
Ooh.
See?
Ooh, light one up for the fans at home there, Ricky. I must have missed that one. I'm sure Stevie at home will appreciate that one. But there we go.
Oh my goodness.
Don't get too
Joe is printing chips right now. Oh my goodness, set versus aces. And of course, King Jack.
What was the raise? Did you raise it up there?
It was 620. I mean, 420 was the bet.
Seti here with top pair. So top pair, over pair, and middle set. And Tony reaching for more chips here. And if you are Joe,
700.
You are still 3-way here, and you have Poker Traveler in this pot who's stuck, probably trying to get some of his losses back. How do you maneuver this pot here if you are Joe? You can go a number of ways.
Are you worried about the flop straight,
I
though?
don't think you're really worried yet, and still you have boat out, so you got to go with it here. So you're going to continue on. It's just a matter of raising now or flatting this. I can see an argument for both. I would like to raise it up now and charge some draws, especially 3-way. That's exactly what he's doing here. So those are multiple that might be a little too high.
2,700 raises it up $2,000 back over to Tony with the weapons of mass destruction.
I think that's kind of too high.
He folds.
Yeah. So.
And Joe shows the set, and yes.
So there we go. So
but you know what? Take down the pot. It's big enough.
I don't like a little too high there. I think if you went that high, you were going to scare some people out there, and that's not what you want to do when you have such a stranglehold on the hand there. But still, nonetheless, Joe's night just gets a little bit better and better. There we go.
What's the old saying? Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. I mean, take down the pot when you can. Ace on the river just buries him.
I would definitely not have just flatted that. I would have raised. I like the raise, but just a tad lower. Tad lower.
All right.
Wet board indeed.
He just put 5 or 6 chips out there. They just happen to all be purple.
Yeah. So the Wayne Gretzky gets through there, and Sai's trying to work his magic here with the Mario Lemieux.
Joe is just having all sorts of fun right now.
Joe loving life indeed.
Sai with pocket sixes raised 75. E folds over to Apache with King 8 offsuit. He'll fold. Back over to Poker Traveler, and he'll fold. So Sai will take down $30 and give Frank 2. Got a lot of comments. One person says, I like the bet because of the straight. Another says it's a terrible play. Yeah. And, you know, it's all fun. You know, poker, there's very few chances where you couldn't say you could play it a different way.
No, that was an interesting spot there. Could have gone a number of different ways, and all the people in the chat are thinking about different options and different things to do, because that's what it was all presented on the table. Could have gone a number of ways. And it was really only Joe's decision, and he raised it to the amount that he did, and he took it down.
Yeah, you never, you know, it's never bad to take down a pot. And I understand he could have probably made a few more dollars, but, you know, you never know. An ace comes on the river, too. So, and then he loses a big one. Here comes the raise. Actually, the call from Poker Traveler. Tibor made it 50 with 5-4 offsuit. Tibor has been pretty quiet. There's 5-4-8. He just flops 2 pair. Straight draw for Poker Traveler, though. There's a $100 chip from Tibor with his 2 pair.
Just a gutty 2-6, not that exciting. Not that exciting. $100. Out of position, 7 deuce. Not really much any backdoor options, but he makes the call. Queen doesn't help. Tibor's not going to be checking behind here. He's going to make it more expensive.
Tibor very methodical with his bets. He makes it 300, and will take it down. Cumulative winnings, you see Joe. Joe about to cross the 10K mark. My goodness.
Yeah,
and
big night for Joe.
Poker Traveler and Cy losing about what Joe is winning.
Joe clapping his hands. You can even see he's smiling now. You know, running the conversation at the table. That's usually what happens when you're the big winner at the night there, you know? It's all rainbows, butterflies.
Winners talk, losers say shut up and deal.
Thinking about what kind of appetizers I'm going to have on my spread for the big game tomorrow. Just can't lose right now. Joe, Queen 9 of diamonds. He's going to come along because can't lose right now.
Thank you, Justin. The main announcer seems to be a nice guy, but needs to have a better understanding of the game. Hey, I'm the first to tell you I'm not an expert. I'm an enthusiast. I have played for a lot of years. Doesn't mean I'm an expert. Never claimed to be.
Maybe he was talking about me. You never know. Who's the main?
Could be.
Are you the main? Am I the main? Is this the main? Which one's the main?
It's a good point.
Who knows?
It's a good point. I'm not offended. I'm just saying I agree. I'm not an expert, and I'm the first person to tell you that. Here comes a bet. Looks like 90. $85 was the bet, and we've got a number of players who called. 8, 6, 10, 2 spades. Shots fired, bang, bang. You got to say a lot more than that to get me offended.
Tilted in the booth.
I'm an easygoing guy until I lose, until my aces get cracked.
So Apache in position here on the button.
250.
Just ace high, gets checked around. He's going to take this down, kind of sense his weakness all the way around the table. Just needs to fade Joe and Bones here. Joe can't lose tonight. Mixing it up here, going to chase that jack or potentially a queen, which would be bad news. Bones with deuces gets away. So the old Apache versus Joe, a classic lodge battle, will take a turn 5 of diamonds, no help.
Joe is kind of
checks
playing around with his chips here. He does have a straight draw.
He checked it. So Apache trying to tell a story on the flop doesn't improve on the turn. He's going to continue to tell that story. So 500 here. So how spicy does Joe want to get?
Roll of greens, 500. And Joe doesn't feel like giving any profit away. He's going to fold, and Apache, good play by Apache. He's going to win a nice little pot.
Yeah,
with no pair.
Double barrel gets it through. The power of position there. And Joe doesn't want to chase no longer, and Apache rakes in a pot over 1,000. So he's starting to heat up over there on seat 2.
I understand, Justin. I didn't say you're a hater. I get it. Always looking for ways to improve. That's why we've got Mikey here, because Mikey's billed as the expert. So I'm more billed as the guy who keeps things going along, and I'm just the straight man who tells a few jokes. And I do know a little about poker. It's over to Cy with Queen Deuce. He's going to toss that in.
And Justin's a local in town. He's got to come to the lodge. We got to get a heads-up battle on the 1-2 tables for all the chippies.
The way I'm playing this month, man.
Confidence is low. It's okay.
I did have a $1,600 win the other night, Mike.
That's nice.
It was a beautiful night. So every now and then a blind squirrel can find a nut, and I can win at the poker table. Looks like the poker traveler is going to make it a buck and a squirt, 125. Is that? I don't know what Joe just did there.
I think he just flatted.
Just flatted, okay.
Yeah.
So looks like we've got 3 ways to the flop. Frank will give us the flop. Jack 9-5, 2 clubs.
So Joe's heater continued.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna, might have to, depending on how this hand goes, might have to find one of my sound bites. I'm gonna take a little peek here.
Buck 25 is bet by Poker Traveler. Joe and E come along.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it easy for him with the open ender.
There's a king. And now
a little bit of a scare card.
Joe, yeah, that is.
If this folds or if this checks around to the Traveler, he can try and represent that, but he does not. And now Joe has big trips, and now you have to feel confident in his holdings here. So let's see if he sets a little trap, lays the rope for the people behind him, but I think he's going to lead out and fire a bet probably around the 500 mark. I'd like to see what he does. Right around 500, just a little bit underneath. He's at 350, 375, but I don't think he can get called by anybody.
Is Joe running good or what? And he gave a few dollars over to Apache. Poker Traveler.
Getting it ready. Here we go. I mean, we're over the 10K mark. Somebody's got to call the fire department.
Absolutely. Joe, I believe, even though he gave four or 500 to Apache in that hand, I think he is got to be over the 10K mark.
Here we go, Joe. As we take a look, make that 11K. My apologies.
Well, there you go.
We shorted him. We shorted him in $1,000 there. So that's a sunshine chip, a nice little bright yellow one. So Joe running over this table tonight, running hot and making all the correct plays. We've seen him take down a couple of pots when he hasn't had the goods, but majority of the time he has had it and has smashed the flops when his opponents have caught a piece as well. So good night for seat 8.
Yeah, the question about the dealer, yeah, the dealer of our live streams usually stays the whole 3 hours. We don't have downs for, usually in a place like the Lodge, they have 30-minute downs where a dealer gets replaced every 30 minutes. Not for the live stream. We'll let the dealer deal the whole live stream 3-hour time frame.
Working on my sound bites there, Nick, from you. I only got a couple. I kind of just look them up online. My main go-to is usually after Rick's joke, and it's usually kind of goes a little something like this.
Not tonight, boy. 10-8-5.
Not
Tony.
tonight, not tonight indeed.
Or Wednesday night. This week I'm on fire.
Right.
I'm Joe of the jokes right now.
Well, I have that one locked and queued, ready to go. So we'll be hearing that one again.
Looks like we've got a bet from Big Tony and a call from E and Poker Traveler over to Tibor, who will fold. Now we'll go 3 to the turn. Actually, over to, I didn't see. Sai says I'm going to fold. Now we're 3 ways to the turn. Jack on the turn. Don't know what E has. Poker Traveler with a straight draw. Big Tony makes it 175 with his top pair. Actually, now it's not top pair. It's pair of 10s, second pair. Queen of clubs, and Big Tony with the clubs. King high flush is going to put out, looks like 550, 575.
Don't think he's going to get the action that he's craving here. So I'm not quite sure what he has. He's taking his time here.
Let's see, has a 9.
Oh, he made, my apologies. So we're not quite sure.
He must have a 9.
Oh, yep.
He didn't show.
No, we're not quite
but
sure.
I would imagine he had a straight with a 4-liner out there.
Could have been perhaps lower. Low clubs or definitely a 9 at least. And E and Poker Traveler getting a little bit beat up here. but they can still rebound. Very dangerous and experienced players. Nick from Yuma, I'm working on those sound bites, buddy. If you got one that you love and like,
You know,
shoot
they have
me an
apps for
email.
that. They have apps with all sorts of
I'll try to customize some sound
sheep
bites.
and cows and broken glass. You name it. I'll show you where they are, but it's an app. It's any soundbite you want.
Okay.
There's the cumulative winning.
I want them to be authentic and unique. You know, I don't want no cheating. But if some of our viewers and listeners want to kind of feel like they're more involved, you can shoot me an email. And if there's a good one, I'll play your own soundbite if I approve, and I more than likely will. So,
Mikey,
you guys keep looking.
Mike says he's making the world's greatest chili for tomorrow. I guess the big game. Mike, I got to taste some of that chili. Please tell me you don't put beans in your chili. Mike, tell me you don't put beans in your chili. $75 is the raise. I'm going to wait to see what.
Making the chili. You can't be chatting too much while he's making
Well,
the
but
chili.
you cannot put beans in your chili.
A lot
If
of
you
people
do,
put beans in chili. I don't really
not
make
if
a
you're
lot
from
of chili.
Texas.
So Tibor juicing it up on the button here with 7-6 offsuit, charging the Poker Traveler's ace-3 of spades. Power of position here, and Poker Traveler perhaps a little bit tilted. He's not going to go anywhere, and he's got the best hand, and he spikes top pair here. But you know, if you're Tibor and you're 3-betting this on the button, you're not checking this board. You're trying to represent obviously a much stronger holding here. So the he does check it there. So very wise by Tibor. I thought he would fire. So here we go. Traveler here juices it up to 300 there, and Tibor trying to get a little bit spicy there, steps on the brakes, and very wise that he does there. But I thought he would have fired out a c-bet there for sure on the flop. But senses that the Traveler had the ace and shuts down. So either here nor there, we're up to the next here.
We got a couple people saying that they do put beans in the chili. I guess I'm just a Texas chili guy. And we just don't put beans in the chili. But you can. I've had them both ways, and I just don't do it.
Shout out to Nemo in the chat there. We're going to have to pause this broadcast. Nemo bet on the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight to beat the New York Islanders, and you know that was a bad idea, Ricky. You know that was a bad idea because the Islanders just smashed the Penguins there. So sorry for your loss, Nemo, but thank you for joining us as always. Traveler going to juice it up here with pocket 10s, 275 one more time.
And pocket, Poker Traveler and E are going to go heads up. Pocket 4's in. There's the 4, E.
And these boys have been talking about getting it in. How much does E want to punish the Traveler here? Knows that the Traveler's been stuck and running bad here. Middle set. Taking his time, deciding what to do. These boys very familiar with each other. They've been traveling around Texas through multiple clubs, playing meetup games. Lots of experience together. But
he's just going to come along.
Just going to smooth call it here. So that's definitely going to be a little bit troublesome for the Traveler here. Maybe thinking that his opponent's on spades there. And that's probably going to slow down the action here. Goes check, check. Jack of clubs. Nobody has a club here, so that's probably going to go check, check again. He might be worried. And I don't see the Traveler making a bet here. It's going to show his 10s. Going to be check, check, and we're going to shift the chips to seat 1 here. I imagine here, trying to deciding what to do. Really.
Ooh, he crosses the line. 1,000. We do have a hard betting line.
Very, very reluctant 1K. Did the double check there, potentially turning his 10s into a bluff here. I thought he was probably going to check it down here, really putting E to the test. And I think he's going to get away from this set here. So disgusting folding sets. But really probably just putting on the Traveler to some type of, king, queen. The way he kind of pushed that, you can eliminate the ace of clubs. It really smells like, like a queen or like a 10 of clubs, 9 of clubs perhaps. Makes a lot of sense. So
what a great bet.
talking to each other, saying, "What you got, buddy? I smashed that flop. What do you have? A pair of tens? Tens good? That's obviously not what they're saying here. We can't hear the table talk from the booth here. You might be able to listen a little bit here on our mics from the table. But it's a little bit harder with the mask here, but they're definitely talking to each other, trying to feel each other out here. And he's put to the test here. Definitely blender situation. So that's a soundbite we need, the blender.
The blender.
I'm going to get the blender queued up here shortly. And what do we have here? Oh, action figure back on the cards. Eyebrows up. Traveler eyeing him down, says, "I got you beat, buddy."
He's going to call, it looks like.
He doesn't have one of those spicy yellow chips, so, maybe he puts yellow chips in his chili.
He calls.
Makes the call there, so 10's no good. Great call there by E. And it could have been a much larger pot, and E's going to say no good.
E shows the set. Good call from E. And even Poker Traveler says good call. Yeah, we still haven't decided about Mike and the players. The problem with that is there's just too many moving pieces. And we got a good show going on right now. I don't think it will add that much more if we mic each player. And there's a lot that goes on. Look at the room. It's smack dab in the middle of our room. It'd be one thing if we were in our own room and our own studio away from players. But if we mic the players, all you're going to hear is the loudness of the poker room itself. So we've thought about it, folks. But there's an old saying, if it ain't broke, why fix it? And right now we're cruising along. And that was a great call. Rounders Live says, what a great call, E.
150 in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us. Like and subscribe to that channel if you haven't done so. Rick and I here every Wednesday and Saturday, so don't just tune in tonight. Come on back if you're liking what you're watching. We're here for you guys. Try to put on a show each and every week.
Here's a question for the chat. Give us your top Super Bowl food that you like while you're watching the big game tomorrow. Your top thing that you can't do without.
Ace Queen versus Jacks here.
Pizza doesn't count.
I'm not a big, I always go to different Super Bowl parties, kind of different spreads. I'm not very picky, like having a couple beverages. But I think my lady Nino went to the market today. We picked up some beef to make some sliders, some guacamole, cheeseburgers perhaps. We got some sweets as well, so I'm going to be making that up in the morning tomorrow to get ready for the big one in the afternoon.
There's a 9. Are you going to play poker tomorrow?
Don't think so.
All right. Well, we're expecting a lot of players who, because the game starts at 6. Come out, play some poker.
I'm sure this place is going to be jam-packed, but we're going to be here late tonight. I'm here pretty often as it is, so I'm going to take a day for myself and the lady.
Got barbecue sliders, beef stew. I'm kind of with Cheryl. I mean, how can you not go with? Queso is. I'm a queso fiend.
Pretty garbage flop here for the action that we had. Ace Queen so pretty, Jack so pretty, and this King 8 flop. Everybody a little scared about it here. Inside goes for a stab, but J-Win not going anywhere. Good on J-Win for still believing in his jacks. Now another 9 on the river makes it complicated. He checks. So let's see if Sai wants to try and steal this one. It's going to have to be high if he wants to get J-Win off of this here. And that seems to be a good price here. J-Win really put to the test now with 2 pair kings and jacks. So good on Sai, recognizing that his ace high not good enough to take down this pot. Clubs get there, so Sai could be representing clubs, but that would be pretty ballsy of him to be firing on the river. J-Win, a great poker mind. They're not going to be pushed around. He's going to be reaching for calling chips. He's going to make this call. Sai's going to see the bad news. He's already there. You see? We got
J-Win calls.
So J-Win makes the call. Good call, J-Win. A lot of high-level, high-quality stuff going on here tonight. Nobody really making many mistakes. Some players attempting to make moves, and that's what you got to do here at the poker table. Sometimes you don't have it, but you got to represent that you have it. And the sizing is good. The quality is good. Everything is just great tonight. Even Rick's jokes are good. So firing on all cylinders tonight here from the Lodge in Round Rock as we approach the 10:45 hour mark here. Saturday night, we look at our winnings joke, 10.6. Traveler having a rough go. Same with Cy. Tony now down 2K.
Pigs in a blanket. That's a good one. I haven't heard in a while. I also like guac and chips, hot sausage and cheese dip from Kristen. We got a lot of good things to eat on Super Bowl, on the big game, and it's always fun. I kind of like something bacon wrapped jalapeno. Something like that.
I'm not a big
jalapeno
guy.
Oh,
I like spicy stuff.
I like a little spice.
I do like spice. I don't like jalapenos.
Okay. Looks like we've got a raise to 45 from Tibor with Queen 10 offsuit. We're pushing, coming up on the 11 o'clock hour. So we started a little late, so we're going to go well past the 11 o'clock hour. Normally we go 3 hours, but I think we started after 8 p.m. Yes, you did miss the joke of the night. It was fantastic. I don't know. Towards the end of the show, I might tell one more. But we got
over 200 here.
We got rave reviews on the joke of the night tonight. Can't tell it again. Go back and check it out.
Well, you can replay this run back tomorrow if you missed it. Can't tell two jokes, the same joke twice. Come on now. You're better than that.
Nobody. Steven Reeston giving me a little smart-ass remark. Notice nobody said beanless chili. Oh, God.
Jay went
That's
on
funny.
The straddle here.
That's funny. Steven Reesman. He seems like my kind of guy, Scum, you know? Would me and Steve get along, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So from what I've been, the vibes are strong between you two gentlemen when Stevie comes to visit his son in town.
Yeah. Let's go and have a beer.
We'll go out and have a beer for sure.
What about your mom?
She's invited as well.
All right.
She wants
I want to meet your girlfriend, too.
Yeah, she pops in here from time to time.
There's a $100 raise from Bones, who's been coming to life here the last hour or so. Poker Traveler folds over to J-Win, who fold. Looks like J-Win's getting, either he colored up, he must have colored up because he's got the money behind button, placard. There's some stats for you. Folks, seriously, come on to the February 25th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. It is the World Texas Championship. We're guaranteeing $200,000 in our prize pool. I mean, for a club like us, a small club like us, that's pretty darn good. We're putting our money where our mouth is. $200,000 guarantee. 3-day 1As, and then day 2 on February 28th. $500 buy-in, $75 club access fee, and I think there'll probably be, I think, a $10 dealer appreciation will get you a few thousand more in chips. Enter as many times as you want. But I would say don't plan on just coming on Saturday and just expecting that you're going to get a seat in day 1C, because it could be a lot of people. And you could have to wait a while to get your seat on Saturday. So come on Thursday or Friday for sure.
Yeah, try and run up a stack early. That's also a good strategy. And then see what you can do. If you break out, there's always another day. But come on there early. We're going to be having all these tables filled up anyway, so you might as well get in on the action early.
And yeah, we've I think 3 hours and 20 minutes has been our long stream. You know, the problem is we could go longer, but I think 3 hours is a good thing.
The longest stream we've done was probably that Art of Poker final table where we had.
We started at 11.
Yeah, we put Nate, so it was probably like 11 to 3:30, 3:45, and that was a lengthy one with high quality back and forth tournament poker going on heads up. But We'll be going for as long as we can so far here tonight, as long as the players want to keep on playing.
Open-ended straight draw versus a flush draw, Mikey. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
As Poker Traveler makes it 325, Tibor quickly calls.
Yeah, here we go. So,
and over to Apache, he's even thinking.
Middle pair, tough spot for Apache. Apache's been running into a bunch of tough spots tonight, and this is another one of these scenarios here where you have an aggressor here betting out, you have a flat call behind, and now you're on the button. How do you want to play this here? Just middle pair, king kicker.
Apache is going to make the call.
Makes the call, so
he's actually in the lead right now.
A rough call, but in the lead here. But a lot of bad things can happen on the turn that's going to make you start doubting and wondering here. So let's see what happens here now on the turn. If Traveler checks, so option on Tibor. Let's see what happens here. If it checks around to Apache, what does he do? And let's see if Tibor fires in a bet, what does Apache do? So my eyes are on C2 here to really see what he's going to do. If he makes that call on the flop, you got to think now, you got to continue to believe here on with that 6 of hearts on the turn. Maybe you're worried about 8-9, so 8-9's in play, but that would have been, the flop nutter butters here. And the way Tibor's playing this, just kind of smooth calling the flop, now firing out 1100 here on the turn, puts the Apache in a really tough spot, especially with another player behind who's stuck thousands and probably a little bit upset and wants to turn things around tonight. So even though you do have the best hand here in your Apache, I think you're going to have to lay this down. It's just so gross and disgusting. You don't really, it's a very tough spot to maneuver here. So Apache in the blender.
Tibor throws out yo 11. Yo 1100. 2 purples. Those are nice plum color.
Apache has had king 10 how many times tonight, and just usually in the lead each and every time, but the way the boards have been running out, it's really hard to believe that you're ahead, especially in a multi-way pot here, 3-way with 2 other outstanding players here. So here we go. Doesn't have his massage going on right now, no rub downs taking place, just a Apache and his mind trying to decipher the correct play here and the right move. All in jam would just be pure genius, but I don't think that's even going to happen. I think the Apache here is going to fold, especially after he takes this much time. I don't see him smooth calling this. It's going to be pretty sick there, but again, you need to start thinking about, on the flop there, once you call that flop bet and you get a turn like this, how are you going to proceed? Otherwise, if you believe that your hand is good on the flop, with your holdings, you still kind of got to believe that you're good right now.
He's going to lay it down.
So and we have a quick decision here. So Poker Traveler, has had his time.
Call it.
He's had enough time to decide what he's going to do if the Apache folds, and he did. So now here we go.
There's a 6, and believe it or not, the king is going to win, but
so they have both whiffs on their draws now. So the best hand is out.
I think the first person to put chips in wins, right?
I don't know where I think we're still on Traveler.
Yeah.
No, it went check.
King high is going to win.
So Tibor shuts down, it goes check, and Apache's kicking himself. Look at C2 right now. Hats off. He's getting a little bit sweaty. He's a little steamed up. We got a steamer in C2 right now. The 10s go bye-bye. 10s would have been good. 10s and 6s with the king. So what a disgusting spot there for Apache. Both players gun-shy on the river there. Traveler saying, if I rip it, I'm good. Tibor thinking he's dead and just shuts down, but nope, king high good. She wins what was that, 3K pot at least, minimum?
Did Tibor also win with 9 high earlier, or was that Big Tony?
Yeah, that might have been, it was 9 high.
It was Tibor, right?
It was it was Tibor or Sai, or it might have been Tony. It was one of those two seeds. I don't recall.
Because winning with the king No pair on that, and Apache just shaking his head going.
Lots of people in the chat here asking Kristen Stein some personal info. Everybody got to settle down. That lady is married. I know her husband, and he's a feisty bulldog. So settle down there in the chat.
Somehow I think Kristen
she's a beautiful lady.
Somehow I think Kristen can take care of herself too.
She can. But I gotta give him a
Bones raised it to 75.
Here we go. So very spicy pot on that last one. That's what you like to see. And you see the Apache here still, he can't let it go. Still talking about it. They're still going back and forth. But a great bet there on the turn there by Tibor, really putting Apache in that tough spot with the Traveler behind him. So I probably would have folded in that scenario also. So I don't blame him on the fold, but just pretty disgusting and sick.
Cy flops a flush draw. 10 on the turn gives him top pair and a flush draw now. Some money is going to have to go in this pot. Doesn't look like it. There we go, $100 from Cy. Big Tony folds. And Bones is scratching one of our cards and shows we're replacing.
Yeah, saying it might be a little bit marked a little bit, and it is the ace of hearts there, so we are going to swap that out, it looks like, here after this hand, try and get a new card going.
Coming up on the 11 o'clock hour, we did start late, so we're not anywhere near finishing. Normally we'd go 8 to 11, but we'll probably go at least another 30 minutes, I would imagine.
No one has to appreciate the assist, but we got commentary going on back there.
And all right, so we've talked about food for the big game tomorrow. Who does everybody have? Do you have the 43-year-old golden boy who was on Jimmy Kimmel mean tweets? It was so funny the other day on Tom Brady's mean tweets. 43 years old. Come on, give it up for the GOAT. If he wins number 7, he's in rarefied air among any professional athlete winning 7 championships. Who do you got, Mikey? The Chiefs or the Bucks?
I keep going back and forth. You know, I'm a big believer in like title town. You know, and when one team usually wins, the other teams kind of just follow suit in that city. It's just got good vibes, good vibrations going on. You look at the city of Boston with the Patriots, the Bruins, the Red Sox, they fall through. You know, you had LA, the Dodgers, the Lakers, you had Kansas City win the Super Bowl recently, the Royals. You could just name a number of cities where that one team wins and the other ones just kind of follow on through. So Tampa Bay Lightning has just won the Stanley Cup last year. The Islanders should have taken them down in the conference finals, but that's a separate story. So I keep kind of going back and forth for that reasons I just mentioned. I tend to lean towards the Buccaneers being at home, but the Chiefs are damn good. They've won like 24 out of 25 games.
They are good.
So I think, even though I just gave a solid case for Tampa Bay, I'd lean towards the Chiefs.
All right. I just it's hard to bet against Tom Brady. He is really, it's funny, I think he threw in the regular season, he threw for 43 touchdowns. The New England Patriots threw for 10 this year. So I think he won that divorce settlement between my Patriots and Tom Brady.
Yeah, rough year for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Couldn't get anything.
Say what you want about Tom Brady. The guy he's just a stud, man. 43 years old. Give me a break. He says he's going to want to play for a few more years.
Oh, there we go. So Cy shows him the pocket 8s, and now you see Cy's even going fishing in the muck to look at other cards there. Pretty sneaky there by the Traveler. He had him crushed with 2 pair, but only shows him 1. A lower pair to the 8, just so you know, send a little message, cast a little doubt in his opponent's head there. As he goes, he just rebuffed more chips, so he's going to add a couple more soldiers to that stack and try to battle back here, both C3 and Cy. No stranger to high action, both stuck. So let's see how they kind of claw back and rise to the challenge here. Mikey in the chat there with the zinger. I like that little zinger to Bob Kraft. Pretty spicy indeed. Let the man live his life. Here we go. Apache. So he got a straddle going on here. Apache's going to flat it with 6-4 diamonds. T-Bor on the button. Jack 9, so pretty loose calls going on here. Tony in the big, ace 10, could have juiced it up, elects just to play it safe here. We're going to go 5-way to a flop.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do anything with that. I don't even think I would have had a flush draw.
Rounders live in the chat. Thanks for being in. Club down San Antonio way, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct.
10 of diamonds on the turn. Looks like Tony with trips. Big Tony. He's played in a lot of pots. But he's not going to be the one betting.
T-Bor open-ended here.
Makes it 155.
Cy, ace of hearts still chasing here, and now Tony with trip 10s. Not going anywhere, but perhaps a little gun shy to raise this one up just yet, maybe fearful of the flush. But not anymore, as he has boated up on the river here. And now Cy, pretty dangerous card for Cy. Chasing the nut flush, now has aces up. But did we just have a check, check, check all the way around? We did, so wow.
How did Tony not bet that?
Tony setting the trap. You know, the other players were showing the aggression all the way through there. So Tony obviously hoping for the back raise there, but the other players do not fall for it. No, sir.
The problem with a check raise, Mike, is you've got to have somebody make the initial bet.
Yeah.
And
Tony going for, you know, a grand slam rather than a home run. Doesn't elect to bet there, wanted to make him really pay if his opponents put in some chips behind him, but misses the opportunity there. So a little bit of a misstep for Tony. I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself about that one a little bit. And T-Bor and Cy, good on them for escaping without losing much money there.
interestingly enough, we talk about Tom Brady. About 10 years ago at Austin High, a local high school here in the area, their offensive coordinator, their head coach was Mike Rosenthal, former Notre Dame star and Minnesota Vikings star. Anyways, he's the head coach. The offensive coordinator, what did I say 7 years ago, with Scott Dreisbach. Scott Dreisbach was the starting quarterback at Michigan in front of Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't even start at Michigan. So, and Scott, I went up to Dreisbach that night on the sidelines and say, you know that you're probably the only guy in the world that can say that you started in front of, other than Drew Bledsoe in his short time starting in front of Brady. Interesting fact. Here we go. 3-3-10 is the flop. Looks like pocket eights are way in the lead here. Joe. An ace, though, makes Apache, gives the Apache 97% chance to win. Only loses, really, if an ace, a deuce or an eight comes along. There's a 6, so Apache's going to win this pot as long as he stays in. Yeah, Mike Rosenthal, one of the great guys. He is the head coach of the Austin High Maroons. He doesn't need to do it. A buck and a squirt is the bet from Apache. Good bet. But no one's, I don't think, is going to call. I think the only one who could is Joe, maybe. But too many overcards, over the eights. Jay win with his 6. He's going to make the call. 2 pair for J-Win. T-Bor will fold, as does Cy. And this is the one who I thought was going to call, but since J-Win called, I didn't think he could. J-Win's going to see the bad news. And I do believe Kansas City, there is a Kansas City, Kansas and a Kansas City, Missouri. I do believe that they are separated by the border. Kansas City is a great town. A lot of good barbecue in that town. Of course, I'm more of a Texas barbecue guy than a Kansas barbecue guy. But to each their own. $152 people in the
I'm a
library.
fan of good food. I don't care where it's from. I've had all different types of barbecue. So
If you had one meal to eat, Mike, what would it be? One meal. Cy with the $75 raise.
I'm a big sushi guy.
Oh, no. Come on.
No. I was raised in a big sushi family.
My goodness.
So if I could have, the best high quality fish,
Bait?
and it just, I don't know, it tastes good. It's good for my digestion.
I understand, but give me prime rib.
I'm a big meat fan as well.
Give me prime rib.
I grew up in an Italian family as well, so I'm no stranger to good Italian food. So I like a wide range of foods here. Cy spikes top 2. Let's see here, Tony with an ace as well. Bottom pair for the Traveler. Joe with an under pair to the board, so little something for everybody here, minus E. And we have a pot brewing.
Over to Poker Traveler. 8-6 is going to call. Check from Poker Traveler. Queen on the turn. 525 from Cy with 2 pair. And now Tony with a better 2 pair. Is he going to raise it up here? This could be a disaster for
Just
Cy.
So pretty nice card there for Tony. Obviously needed it, but probably a little bit fearful of the Jack King, looking to play it slow.
Cy's got to feel he's good here.
Yeah, after you don't get raised on the turn, I think you got to believe that you're good. Ace-10 pretty strong here. And he said something. We're not quite sure what he said, but he said something kind of big. 865, so I thought it was going to be larger. And, Tony's not folding, and he's now comes to raise.
Raise?
So it all goes according to
Looks like
plan.
about 2,500.
So not what Cy was expecting there. Obviously, you thought you were good. Now Cy kind of has to go back into the tank and look at this board, seeing what just happened. I thought I had it. You got to think you're good there, the way this hand played out here. But Tony waiting for his time, in position, and has elected to strike now on the river here with aces up, aces and queens. I think Cy's going to have to pay this off. If you got it, you got it. Probably a little bit fearful of Broadway, and that's really it. You're like, do you have Jack King here? Like, Jack King's the only thing that makes sense here, but when you get raised, maybe pocket 5s, just kind of a weird line and not what Cy was expecting here. But as we see on the monitor, 2 pair over 2 pair. Let's see what Cy does. Both players deep stacked, obviously. Cy, a great player here. Lodge regular, a buddy of mine.
So what are you thinking of right now if you're Cy? I mean,
you're surprised. You're obviously surprised. You could see the reaction on his face here when the raise crossed the black line. I think Cy is going to pay this off, even though, I don't know, Cy, it's tough. Tony doesn't usually take lines like this if he doesn't have something. He obviously has something here, and what can you have that's something that beats me?
And Tony's got to love not snap call. He's got to feel he's good now.
Yeah, now he knows for sure. He knows the raise is not coming. It's either he's calling this bet off or folding.
Right.
There's no chance of a raise taking place. No chance of a raise taking place. That'd just be suicide here for Cy. After Tony puts in this amount of money, see what he has behind there, about 13. There's no way he folds. So it's a call or a fold. Those are the only two options. And he makes the call.
He calls. And he's going to see the bad news. Oh.
So that's what Cy was worried about there. A great hand there by Tony, well played. Gets pretty much the maximum there, and it was very well disguised there, ace-queen on the turn there, but just flatting that bet, kind of knowing that Cy is going to be putting in a large river bet there, and the raise on the river gets it done for Tony. A nice size pot, close to 7K or so there.
The two biggest pots of the night, really, Cy has been on the losing end of. He lost one early to Joe that was about 13K, and then he just lost this to Cy, and both times, Mike, he had two pair. He flopped two pair, I believe. Yeah, he did. And you see Cy and Poker Traveler.
Yeah, down a little bit. Cy might even be down a little bit more because we know that his stack size is a little bit off on the monitors early on. But nonetheless, whether it's 8K, 9K, whatever it is, Cy and the Traveler getting a little bit beat up here. Jay Wynn scooped a nice one there. Joe's obviously been running like God tonight, also playing very, very well. But a nice pot there for Tony. Striking on the river gets it done. 7K shift to seat 7.
Wow. Man, it's tough to see bets like that. Tough poker plays. Looks like we've got a double straddle by Poker Traveler.
The caption is always like me if I stop calling river bets.
And it's going to be on the Poker Traveler. He's going to put 500 on top. 540. With ace-6.
So what was it? Straddle of 40. Flack. I think Apache ripped it all in. So Apache says enough, and it was snap called by the Traveler. So here we go.
What is going on here?
5K ready to go. How many times you want to run it? Domination Nation here. Ace-10 versus ace-6. Not even a single thought went through Poker Traveler's mind once he juiced it up to 500. Says, let's gamble. I'm here to gamble. I'm stuck. What's the quickest way to get unstuck? Going all in and praying for a 6 one time. Not there.
9-7 Jack. 2 hearts. There's
Not there.
Now it's open-ended straight draw for Apache and gets the straight. Apache.
One time full double.
He sees that he's got the straight.
And Traveler not even showing his hand there on the all. And usually on the all hands we flip them up, but not this time here. And maybe the Traveler trying to say, oh, you rivered me with that straight or something along those lines. But nonetheless, Apache had him the whole way there. Let's flip for 5K plus. Not even flipping, you're dominated there. We're just all
what happened there, Mike?
40-40 blast off to the moon, just kind of like the Bitcoin rise. We know Traveler is big into Bitcoin, and then he says, let's go. Get on your rocket ship and let's dance.
That was just amazing. The play from Apache was more shocking than the play from, I guess the snap call was just as impressive.
It was a nice play there by Apache saying, I'm tired of being punked. You're punking the wrong dude. Ace-10, obviously, that could have been dominated by a lot of hands.
Oh, my goodness.
If the Traveler had ace-jack, ace-queen, ace-king, something along those lines, which would make sense to be raising it that high there, but
wow.
No.
Apache just threw Frankie a bunch of money. Good to see that.
Frank's going to need to take me out to
I mean, geez,
it's like getting him in the box on this one. I mean, shit. Here we go. Wow. So
I want to thank everybody who's watched tonight as we wind down. We're crossing the 11:15 soon to be, so we're probably on for a few more minutes. We want to thank our executive producer, as always, Dave Klaproth, who does a fine work. He, believe it or not, folks, he did it all by himself tonight, and it's not easy to punch the buttons and make sure that me and Mike can just sit in our comfy little chair and watch some poker and just make some comments. And I think we have another good live stream that we put on for the folks again, Mike. And looks like another raise from Poker Traveler. Going to make it 100. Big Tony says, I'll come along with my Jack 7 suited, as will Joe. E looks down at 5-3 offsuit and says, not me. So 3 players will go to the flop.
3 players.
Flop comes ace, king, 10. So
Broadway
Joe.
for Joe, like, can it get any better for Joe tonight?
This is Joe's night.
This is Joe's stream.
Wearing
The biggest of stakes, just gonna check it over. Hope somebody goes blast off to the moon, like last hand here. But only middle pair here for the Traveler. Another Broadway draw for Tony. Does not get there with backdoor hearts. So after it goes check around, back to Joe in position. You can't wait any longer here. You got to start building this pot now. And only really the Travelers might call. Oh, another nice size bet there for 100. Milky, maybe even Tony might come along there. He does not. So let's see what the river brings here. If it's going to hurt the Traveler even more so.
Now a 2 pair, Poker Traveler. But Joe with Broadway.
I don't think Joe's fearful of any boats here, so those checks are very good. So actions on Joe, fires at 350, and a great size bet there by Joe. Gets paid. Broadway.
Kristen, do players tip the live stream crew? No, but we don't need it. We don't. We do this for the love of the game. We get paid in other ways of seeing happy people get to watch some poker. Is that too corny? Mike, you're going to have to tell us how that chili comes out. I know it's slow cooking, so you'll probably go to bed long ago and wake up in the morning and have some chili. I think it's only about a 6-hour pregame show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Game kicks off at what, 5:45, and pregame starts at 9?
I won't be watching much pregame.
And I believe the Weekend is doing the halftime show.
No, also I'm not a big fan of the Weekend either.
Yeah.
Is that right? I like.
Best halftime show ever, Prince in the Driving Down Rain. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was in Florida. It was driving down rainstorm. He did Purple Rain in the rain. It was the single greatest halftime performance. I think it's been 15, 17 years since the Janet Jackson incident with Justin Timberlake.
Oh, yeah, little nipple show there. Sure. Forget that one. Jack 7 flop.
That's what that's for. Shoot them in the head so they don't have no say of anything. Get it over with.
Ace 4.
They were just kidding. You don't need to know.
He's going to take it down. Sigh. Steven Reisman. Got to hand it to Steven Reisman. He stays up late. I guarantee you he was at every one of your Little League games. He was at every one of your class plays. That dude supported you, didn't he?
He did. He's a good dad indeed. Miss him very much so. See him as often as I'd like here, living in Texas and South Carolina. But if I ever needed anything, I can always count on Stevie. So I got to be very blessed and thankful for that.
You'll pass it on one day when you have a kid, and
I don't know if that's going to happen.
you're going to walk into your kid's room. He's going to be playing a video game. It's going to be the World Series of Poker. You're going to say, "What are you doing?" "I'm playing Pineapple."
You should have checked raise him on the turn there, son, right?
I did. That's a true story. My son, 7 years old, got him a Nintendo or whatever was common at the time, and walk in. He's playing the World Series of Poker. I said, "What are you doing, son?" "I'm playing Pineapple." 7 years old.
not solitaire.
Gotta love it.
Pineapple, 3 card. Trade in 1.
Queen 6-4, 2 hearts as Jay Wynn flops a flush draw. Yeah, I agree, Mike. Prince's halftime show. I mean, and I heard a story, and he hits the flush. I heard a story that right before the show, they said, Prince, you know, it's raining. You know, do you need anything? And Prince just said, more rain. He just said, dared it to rain. You know, and he's playing an electrical guitar. You know, everything's electric around him. It's a driving down rainstorm. You know, you got to worry about him getting electrocuted.
He's not worried about anything there. Purple Rain's queued up to a T for him here as E binks another set. Always binking sets on wet boards. 4-liner to the flush on the last one. Now his opponent has the flush. So, Jalen put to the test here. We got a nice hand here at Bruin Ring.
Set from E, flush from J-Win, and there's the flush.
Just like last time when E has the set, the 4-liner comes again. Almost the identical run out. Last time it was 4s, this time it was 3s, and last time it was clubs, now it's hearts. E can't get any good pots with his sets here, and J-Win didn't even need that extra heart, takes it down. So he says, my goodness, look, another set, one more time, 4-liner. You see he looks getting a little bit frustrated there, looking to the Traveler here. Meetup game tonight, 5-10 uncapped with E and the Traveler, and they're getting a little bit touched up here tonight.
PennDOT just throwing darts at the state of Texas. Not a good place to live. Or what are you, crazy? Austin, Texas is heaven on earth, man. A little bit too much traffic, but everything else you could want in life is right here in Austin, Texas. So I don't know where you've been in Texas. Maybe you've been to Lubbock or Waco. I could see, but not Austin.
We just lost our viewers from Waco and Lubbock. So you might want to take that back, Rick. Come on now. We don't discriminate wherever you're from. It doesn't matter.
We love them all.
Canada, Mexico, North Pole, South Pole. We know Santa's tuning in for the stream tonight. We don't care. If you like watching poker and you're enjoying the stream, like and subscribe to our channels. Come on back every Wednesday and Saturday. You're welcome. We don't care who you are.
So Poker Traveler has the money behind Placard. He might have bought in for some more as he's going to make the call over to Tibor with Jack 5 suited. Will fold over to Cy. So it'll be Big Tony. Actually, he raised in Big Tony now.
Pocket Kings. And the Traveler with the Placard behind. So God knows how much money is coming back here. And Tony not going to bump it up now. Going to see Tony likes trapping. You saw what he kind of did to Cy there. He's going to see what this board brings. Very kind of safe board.
Straight draw for Poker Traveler, though.
Yeah. Gutter variety here, and Tony checks it. A very soft $500 from. And now,
raise it up.
Now we're going to raise it up to 12. So 500, no good. The price to play now is 12. And I don't know if that's all the money. The Placard is gone. I know the Traveler has a couple purple chips in his hand, so that might be. I think that's 1,000 in his hand. Not quite sure. So yeah, I think it's 1,000. So he's got. It looks to be like 2,000 behind for Traveler. Graphics are a little bit off. He's got a stack of 5s. He's got 4 or 5. Another 4 there. So 500, 1,000. Another 2K effective here. So. Tony putting the Traveler to a test right now. You know, the Traveler knows he's beat, but he's been showing the need to gamble tonight. But he's going to lay it down right then and there. So takes it down. And he shows him. He shows him the king. So very friendly here at the table. Shows it to him. Takes it down. It's all good here. You know, the Traveler experienced player has had plenty of his nights of streams where he's crushed it. No poker player wins every single night. If you find one of those, you're probably a friend with a liar, so you might want to lose that person as a friend. Some nights it's just not your night, and that seems to be the case tonight for the Traveler. But that's all right. He'll be back and firing more bullets later weeks, and hopefully here live from the lodge.
Yep. He is given action. Let me just say that. I think all the players, for the most part, have been involved in a lot of pots. Yeah, I think you have a good table here tonight, Mike. Some more than others, but everybody at least has mixed it up a little bit tonight. And that's what you want. You want a table that will mix it up and not just one person waiting for his aces or ace-king all night.
Bones now is ace-jack, and he's been pretty quiet here, and Cy not giving him any credit here is going to bump it up right away with big slick. So Bones is ace-jack dominated, but probably Bones feeling to himself that he hasn't been very active here, but Tony's going to get a little bit loose with 6-2 of diamonds, giving Bones a good price here to come into this pot dominated by Cy's ace-king. All clubs on the flop. No player in this hand has clubs, but Cy has a king, and now Bones drawing the Broadway.
Ben Dog, the invitation is open for you to come to the lodge. We will get you on the live stream. If you give Mike a call, say you're coming to Austin, we'll get you on, I guarantee you. You could be on a table like this if you want to be. Cy shows his cards, and we'll go on to the next hand. Tibor is going to become the button.
Look at the outside here surrounding the table. So much going on here at the lodge tonight. What a special night. Night before the Super Bowl. Special month here at the lodge with the 200K at the end of the month. Tournament going on. As you see, almost not a seat to be had. Unbelievable. So much action on every single table. It's what you love to see. So if you like poker and you're in the Austin area, Round Rock, even Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, wherever you are, the lodge is the place to be for some great action.
Yep.
He'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a flip.
Apache, who come back strong. You know, he started off getting touched up in the first half of the live stream, and he's really had that big hand against Poker Traveler where he doubled up.
Bounced back nicely indeed.
Tibor's been fun to watch. Tibor is going to raise it up to 105.
Tibor likes the big games. Tibor's been a little bit quiet, but every time he's been raising, it's usually been in the late position on the button here, and J1's going to look him up with King-10 off. Heads up to the flop, ace in the window.
Ace-8-6, 2 diamonds.
Check this over. Ashley's going to be on Tibor. Let's see what he wants to come with. Maybe $1.50. Just a buck. Don't think J1's going to continue here.
Edwin says Poker Traveler has an oil deposit in his yard.
Poker Traveler has made some wise investments. Big into real estate, big with Bitcoin, so he might get touched up at the table, but he's not going to be too worried about it.
Yeah.
So there we go.
There's your chip count. Joe with 16,000 in play. 75,000 on the table right now in chips.
I lost $2,000 this once and made it in Bitcoin, but that's now $50,000.
And this may be it as we see the final stats. Mikey, your thoughts on this game as we bid adieu to folks? Your thoughts?
Yeah, 11:30 here. Thank you everybody here for joining us. We went into about a half hour of overtime. Again, every Saturday and Wednesday. So don't just be a one-time viewer if this is your first time. Come back and join us. It was a great, great show. Lots of action. Joe killed it, 11K.
Yeah.
Rough night for the Traveler, Cy. Everyone else still here and up in the green. So Great night at the lodge. I'm going to get out there and hop in right away, so I'm looking forward to that.
For Mike the Skull Reisman, my name is Rick Epstein, and we appreciate Dave Klaproth, the executive producer. We'll see you next time on Poker Night at the Lodge.
Now it's just like, so they get